Hey, welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where we have a whole bunch of people in the chat already, which is awesome. So hello, Gohan, hello, Bohemius, and hello, Sarah. Good to see you guys. Really good to see Gohan. How you doing, buddy? It's been a second. Hope you're doing good. You, my friend, need to go watch the episode called Return to Barak Tor. Jump over to YouTube at some point and watch, I think it's episode 15, Return to Barak Tor, because I can't believe you missed this, man. You'd have been jumping out of your seat. Okay, Gramina went on this quest, and we are officially not allowed to make fun of her anymore because Gramina one-shot the final boss of Book 1. Literally one shot. Critical hit, all 4 skulls, boss rolled nothing, boss dead immediately. Which has got to be the most insane move that I have seen in Hero Quest for a long time. Yes. Oh, and Justin Pollitt's here too. Awesome, man. We got everybody in the chat right away. If Merlin's in here, Merlin's got to say something. We got the whole crew. Hey, and Cody's here as well. Gohan says, get it, girl. How's it going, man? Good to see you too. Finally get to join in live. Yes. Yes, you saw the first episode on YouTube, which, by the way, got re-uploaded. So, unfortunately, your comment's not there anymore. Go comment that again. Okay, we better get moving. I've interrupted my spiel because as soon as I saw Gohan say "Hola," I was like, I gotta interrupt my spiel to tell him about Gramina. Okay, tonight we are continuing the hero's journey in the ancient underground caverns underneath the World's Edge Mountains to reach the besieged Emperor and his army in Keller's Keep. We are going to be following a group of heroes as they enter the Great Gate in search of the door that will lead them to the warrior halls, one step closer to the Emperor and his starving army. Definitely looking forward to it. As always, if you're hanging out in the stream tonight, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat so I know you're there. As you can see, we have an extremely active chat, which is awesome. Looking forward to some fun while we play tonight. If you have any suggestions or questions about lore or questions about game mechanics or just want to say something, anything, by all means, throw it in that chat. Always looking forward to having some fun while we play. Don't forget, you can catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest, including quests, painting streams, and daily shorts over on the Midnight Quest YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, we would super appreciate it if you'd follow us here on Twitch, go over and subscribe to us on YouTube, all of the content creatory things. It really, really does help, and we really, really appreciate everybody that has already done that. Everybody here in the chat right now has done that. Thank you guys, sincerely. It's so awesome that you're all here. We have got some quest stuff to get started with. Oh man, we are streaming almost every single night of the week. Quests on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights. Painting streams on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, which means you only have Thursday to come here and watch more streams because we're probably going to start streaming on Thursdays too. So you don't get a single day off every single night at midnight right here for Hero Quest. Let's get some quests set up going so that we can get playing. All right. I'm going to pull our camera over here so that we can choose our heroes for the quest. Now, I'm not going to lie, we have a little bit of an experimental thing to do tonight. Recent viewers know that I've been discussing having a personality trait system added to the heroes, and I've got a very basic version of that I'm going to try tonight. So I do actually know which 4 heroes are going on the quest already. However, it was still randomized, so I didn't force anybody. It was still the top 4 cards on this deck. It's just that I already know which ones they are. Gohan says, I logged on last night and was sad to see no stream. Oh, yes. And Cody says, I usually watch while I'm doing my morning emails. Oh, yes, the best. The best. Glad you've been keeping up at least a little bit. This is a lot of content to catch up on. Yeah, I think we're going to start doing some Thursday streams too. So it should just be whatever night of the week. If you're up at midnight and you want to hang out, get in here. All right, we have 11 heroes in the ranks, but only 4 of them can go on a quest. So we use these Beatles cards here to randomize which 4 heroes are going to go. These cards line up with a character randomizer sheet up on the wall behind me. And as I mentioned, I already know which 4 heroes these are, but these were still randomly selected. Our first hero tonight is the 6 of Diamonds, which is Moonstone the Druid. Here she is, painted and ready to go. I believe this is going to be Moonstone's first quest as a painted hero. I haven't looked at her for a while. That's awesome. All right, and we are going to be putting her here on the entrance door. Because she is here, we also need her shape-shifted form, which is kind of this bear-esque creature, also painted. I don't know if we've shown this one off on stream, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Because I mentioned that the colors on camera just don't do it justice.
Oh, yeah.
They're so much better in real life.
So she's got a spell that will allow her to turn into that. Oh, and Justin says, I can't talk much until I figure out this machine I'm trying to run. Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. And Gohan says, roll an intelligence check. Yes. Our next hero is the 3 of diamonds, which is Morkai the Wizard. Here he is. Now, he's gone on a quest painted once before, but I think only one. This was a fairly recent paint job, and this is also our newest hero, which several of you in the chat voted on the name for. So we'll stick Morkai right there. Our third hero is the Jack of Hearts, which is Hogard Redmantle the Dwarf. Also recently painted. I think he's been on a quest since he's been painted. Looking good there. And finally tonight we have Thraken the Barbarian. Very recently painted. This will definitely be his first quest as a painted hero. If anybody tuned into a Wednesday night stream, Savannah was painting this guy. This also means that this will be our very first quest where all 4 heroes are painted. So that's pretty awesome. There we go. Okay, now, the reason, I'll go ahead and keep it on this camera for a second, that I needed to look to see who was going to go on the quest tonight is because we have here our new character sheets. Now, they look about the same, but they include now this personality section right here. And I have rolled some random traits for the hero's personality. We're going to see if this makes any difference, if it works, if something should be changed. I've only done the 4 heroes that are going on tonight's quest. I haven't done this for everybody, just these 4, so that we can kind of test and see what's going on. Bohemia says, huzzah! Nice. Absolutely. I know I say this every time you post one of those Bohemias, but I love those. I assume those are custom emotes for the Hero Quest fans channel. Those are so fantastic. Okay, so we have 6 things here in personality. Let's look at somebody who's a little bit more interesting. Now, this right here is going to be, this is Morkai's character sheet. So we have a searching personality thing. So Morkai is going to prefer to search for secret doors. This is also something we're going to give to Gramina for obvious reasons. In combat, he's going to prefer to use spells. Battle or safety means, like, if there's monsters in the room, is he likely to stop and search for traps, or is he likely to run straight to the battle? We rolled battle for him. As far as spells, he prefers, is there a preference to cast spells on himself or on other people? And for him, he just got equal. And then we also included these last 2, a vendetta against and fear of certain monsters. So if Morkai sees a gargoyle, he's extremely likely to ignore all the other monsters in the room and go for that. If he sees a mummy in the room, he's only going to fight it if it's the only monster that's in there. So even saying fear of is not necessarily the greatest way to put that, but close enough. Gohan says they already have their own personalities. Yes, and that is very, very good point. I want to make it clear that the personalities that we are assigning them are going to be fluid. So this is something that can change based on how we see the character acting in the quest. So this is going to kind of give us some extra stuff to do with our random card draws, but if we see them often ignoring, they're still drawing to do other stuff than what their personality says, we're going to change that personality so that their personalities can develop over time. Again, this is a brand new system that I'm hoping will work. So we're going to be checking to make sure that's all good. Tonight's going to be our first kind of run for seeing what happens. Okay, let's get them some items and some skills and some spells so that we can get this thing on the road. Now, as far as armory goes, I don't think that we are going to go to the armory tonight, and that is on purpose. We have, 220 gold coins, which is a lot less if people are keeping track. We ended the last quest episode Tuesday night with 895 coins. However, I did realize, rewatching the footage back, that Justin Pollitt, who was here in person for that episode, he and I forgot to subtract the gold for a toolkit that was bought, or at least that's the way it looked on camera, was that we didn't subtract the gold. So I subtracted that. I also realized when I was setting up these character sheets that Hogard had a shield and a battle axe, which is not supposed to be allowed. I did not catch that last time when we bought him that battle axe, so I sold his shield and bought him chainmail. So it doesn't change his stats, but we made it allowed this time. Cody says, when they run across what they fear, are any of the stats stunted at all? I've thought about that. Maybe. I'm worried that that might be too much, but I would agree with you. If you're saying we should do that, I agree. Maybe we'll play with that too. I think Mordecai's the only one who ended up with a fear. I didn't want that to be super common, the vendetta or the fear, so I think Mordecai's the only one in this quest that ended up with a fear of a certain monster. Okay, Moonstone. We've got a potion of healing, an elixir of life, and a potion of strength. Well, get those cards. There it is. Moonstone, ever our healer. She's also going to get protection spells, which is cool. I'm seeing something on her character sheet that I forgot to copy over from her other sheet, so let's do that too. This is exactly why I kept them, because I knew I was going to forget something. I didn't circle what her skill set levels were. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. Okay, fixed. Hopefully any other mistakes are that easy to fix as well. Okay, Mordecai does not have items, neither does Hogard, and Thraken only has a toolkit. Good, so we've got two heroes here who can do trap disarm. I need to get their character cards here too. Let's see, Thraken, there's Mordecai, there's Hogard, and there's Moonstone. Oh, so they're all just about right in a row there. Moonstone, Mordecai, Hogard, Thraken. That's our turn order. Although I'm going to need to set these aside because we're going to need to draw spells too. All right, what do we have as far as skills and spells? No skills tonight, only spells. So Hogard and Thraken don't get anything special, although I do need to remember that Hogard has Dwarf Disarm, so the normal HeroQuest Dwarf Disarming rule. As far as spells, Moonstone actually has 4 spells that she takes into the quest. Now 3 of them are the normal druid spells, Pixie, Life Force, and Shapeshift. We will cover what those do when/if she uses them, just so that we're not wasting too much time here during setup. She also gets a 4th spell, which is going to be a random spell, which needs to come out of all of our normal spell stuff, and also she recently got protection spells, which we need to just shuffle into the randomizer for her. So let's go ahead and grab those two. Go ahead and switch cameras here. I've actually got the classic card backs for these because Wizards of Morcar had not yet come out when I printed my cards for these. So we've got the good old late 80s, well I guess this would be early 90s artwork here. The 3 spells of protection, which again, we will cover a little bit more of what they do if she grabs one and uses one. But all we're going to do right now is kind of shuffle them into the random deck because her 4th spell needs to be random. So she may not even get this. Okay, as far as this, just in case anybody's watching that does not know already, we have here 6 copies each of the 12 spells that come with HeroQuest, plus the 3 protection spells in there now. We are going to separate this big pile into 4 smaller piles, which we can randomly draw from. This helps us get some more interesting action in the quests. So the regular HeroQuest would just have you take a certain element. But in randomizing this, we let the heroes potentially get doubles or even triples or more of spells. Also means that they can get a bunch of garbage or a bunch of really useful stuff. Either way, it has a pretty big effect on how that hero plays in the quest. These are very messy piles because these cards are still pretty new, so they're slippery. I think just about all of the protection spells have ended up in pile number 4 there. Ooh, except one. There we go. We got one protection spell right on top of pile number 1. Okay, so we're just going to draw one random card here for Moonstone. This is, hopefully it'll be one of those protection spells, but it's, you know, not very big a chance. Pile number 1, card number 6. Okay, so we know it's not going to be this protection spell, so I'm just going to take it out of there. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is Swift Wind, which will allow her to move quicker for a few turns. Not a spell I use very often, but may come in handy for her, especially if somebody needs healed. Okay, other spells. Mordecai needs to get 8 of these spells, and he has not built pretty much anything in terms of magic skill set, so all 8 of these are going to be random. If we happen to draw one of those protection spells, we're just going to discard it because he does not have those. His first spell tonight, pile number 2, card number 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is Ball of Flame, one of the better offensive spells. Again, we're going to cover these in more detail when or if they're actually used in the quest. Pile number 4, card number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is Courage. Also a handy offensive spell. Will give him a couple of extra attack dice as long as he can see monsters. His next spell, pile number 2, card number 3. 1, 2, and 3 is Veil of Mist. Allows him to move through spaces occupied by monsters, which is normally not allowed. Pile number 2, card number 2. 1 and 2. Another Ball of Flame. Definitely not a bad thing to have. Pile number 1, card number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Another Ball of Flame. He is going to be a flame master tonight. That is for sure. All right, this is spell number 6 right here. Pile number 1, card number 1. Pass Through Rock. Pretty much does exactly what it says. Here we go. Pile number 4, card number 3. 1, 2, and 3 is Tempest. Allows him to freeze a monster for 1 turn. And his final spell, pile number 3, card number 7. I was getting worried we weren't going to use pile number 3 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is another Tempest. Okay, not a terrible loadout. I don't know that we'll use Veil of Mist or Pass Through Rock, but definitely could be worse. Sorry, Spells of Protection, not today. But later on, we'll be seeing those more and more often. Gohan says flame on. Yes, that's exactly right. All right, our quest today is going to take place over in the corner of the map, or at least our entrance is actually going to be way off in the corner. Let's see what this camera's pointing at. It's almost pointing at what we need. I have no idea where we are. Here we go. We are starting up in this corner here, and I need to start the music. I just suddenly remembered and read the quest text. Yeah, that still didn't quite get where we need to go. Okay, let me start the music so I don't forget that. There we go, and let's read us some quest text. This is Quest 2, The Great Gate. Mentor is pretty straightforward to the point in this quest book, much shorter quest text. You have reached the Great Gate. Beyond, fearsome foes await you. I shall watch over your progress and aid you when I can. Your task now is to find the wooden exit door that leads to the warrior halls. So pretty much everything I said right at the beginning of the episode, very straightforward. Here's where you are, here's what you're doing, go for it. Okay, so our entrance door there leads into that hallway, and we need to immediately populate the hallway before the heroes even start their first turn, because that door counts as open immediately. We are there. And we got a door right here. So a short hallway leading straight into a room is how we're starting this. However, we still have some searching that we can do right off the bat, starting with Moonstone the Druid, and I definitely need to pay more attention to the personality thing. That is one thing that I think might be a downside to this, is the amount I'm going to have to pay more attention to this before I draw any cards. I don't want this to make quests take way longer. So I got to remember to try and balance that. Okay. Forgot to get Mordecai's spells kind of put up in a way too. Oh, and I missed. Gohan at one point said, Grameen is always going to check for them secret doors. Yes, yes, she is. So we're not even going to roll her for a random trade on that. Her search is going to be secret doors. Okay, Moonstone does not have a particular searching preference. She just rolled equal on that. So she can search for traps, search for secret doors, or move. And she is going to move. She's not searching for anything. I guess I could have put shapeshift spell in that too, but since we forgot, we'll go ahead and move her 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And luckily none of those squares were trapped. With her second action, however, she can search for traps, search for secret doors, or cast shapeshift. And she's going for shapeshift. Okay. Moonstone's spell Shapeshift grants her 1 extra defense dice and 1 extra attack dice, close range only. The spell is broken as soon as you suffer 1 body point of damage. She will regain the spell when her body points return to their maximum number. So we're going to apply that to her, and that is actually going to switch out her mini for this bear. So we also need to try and keep her in close combat here. Now the bear can still shoot the wand she has, which is weird, but it still can do that. Okie dokie, Mordecai the Wizard is next, and he actually does have a searching preference for secret doors. So his what he can do right now is 50-50. We'll just turn that into 33% everything. Secret doors, or move. And he's going for secret doors. Yeah. There are no secret doors in that hallway. Okay, Mordecai, I guess I forgot to add traps to that. Nobody searched that either. Traps for the second action or move. He's going for traps. He's just doing all the searches. No traps in that hallway either. Okay, Hogard, the only option is move. So let's get moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. He does end up getting to this door. So let's move. I need to move this camera out of my face. There we go. Let's see what is in this blue room. He opens the door and we find another door. No furniture, but a whole host of monsters right off the bat. Now, as Bohemius observed a few episodes ago, this book is the book of goblins and orcs. So we are going to see a whole lot of those guys all throughout this book, and this room is our first indication. We have in this room 3 mountain goblins. Excellent. We have these guys right here, here, and here. Also in this room are 2 deep goblins. Now, mountain goblins are garden variety goblins, just regular old guys. Deep goblins, however, are monsters that came from the deepest tunnels. They are mostly blind, so they don't move very fast, but their attacks are higher than normal, because in order to survive in the deepest tunnels, you've got to be tough, so their attacks are particularly bad, but they're slow. One more monster in this room, and it is a deep orc. So kind of same thing, this orc came from the deepest tunnels. It doesn't move very fast, but you do not want this thing to attack you. So we are full right off the bat. Okay, Hogard, are we going to run in there or search for traps? Now his battle/safety personality also came out as equal, so we'll just go ahead and do this as a 50-50 draw. Traps or battle? He's going for battle. He had a movement left still, didn't he? Yeah, oh yeah, he had plenty. So which one of these guys is he going to go for? He doesn't have, well, his vendetta is for Femmer, so he can go for any of the 5 guys. He's actually going to go to this deep goblin down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Luckily, neither of those spaces are trapped, and he can use his other action to attack. Also, in our previous episode, I finally determined that I was going to switch to the Avalon Hill dice. If you look in the bottom left corner, you'll find the dice cam there. The Avalon Hill dice are much easier to see on the dice camera, but I dislike them. I like the original HeroQuest dice, they just don't show up very well. Okay, So Hogard's got a battle axe. He swings his battle axe at the Deep Goblin, hitting it with a 3, which is a skilled strike, making that goblin super dead. Out he goes. That's good. He got rid of one of the more dangerous monsters in that room right off the bat. Unfortunately, he's probably going to get surrounded now. Thraken, still in the entrance room. All that's left to do is move, so let's get moving. Or you could tiptoe around, I guess. Thraken is going to go a 1, 2, 3. Real nice move there, buddy. That's no help at all. I mean, there's literally nothing he can do there. He can't search for anything. He can't fire at any of the monsters. Yeah, good. Okay, so here we are at the monster's turn, and we've got a few things we need to do. Thraken is going to get surrounded, but we can also send a monster out there towards Moonstone as well. So let's do that. Let's just send this central guy out. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Mountain Goblin on Moonstone. Hits her with a 1. Now remember, her shapeshift gives her an extra attack dice and an extra defense dice. So she's actually got really good defense right now. Yes, she blocked it, but just barely. Now one moment, because what has given her 4 defense? Let's just take a look at that. So her base defense is 1. She's got a Western leather hood, which is the same thing as a helmet, and a Western leather tunic, which is the same thing as chainmail, each of which has boosted her up by 1, which gave her 3 defense dice. Her shapeshift is giving her that 4th one. Okay, that's pretty wild. Okay, Hogard is also in a position to take a lot of damage because dwarves are heavy on the defense. He's actually got his defense dice up to 5 right at the moment. Okay, Hogard. 1, 2. First thing, Deep Goblin attacks Hogard, hitting him with a 1. And he defends it, but just barely. Only 1 shield there. Next, we've got a Mountain Goblin attacking him. Also hits him with 1, which he blocks, but again, just barely. And then, let's see, we can definitely get this Mountain Goblin over there, but can we get the Deep Orc? How many do Deep Orcs move? 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that works. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Deep Orc on Hogard. Swings its sword and hits him with a 3. Which again, he defends, but just barely. Look at this, he perfectly got the exact amount of shields on each one of those defenses. That's pretty lucky. Okay, back to the front of the party. We are at Moonstone attacking this goblin. In her shapeshift, as long as she is close range, she is afforded an extra dice, which means she's got 3. Yes, okay. Moonstone swings her claws, hitting the Mountain Goblin with a 1, which it does not defend. Out it goes. I have got to get used to these Avalon Hill dice. It feels so weird rolling these. I have spent so many years rolling the Milton Bradley dice. It feels completely wrong in my hands. Second action, Moonstone. She might as well just go 1, 2. She can't do anything else yet, but she's there in position. Is that smart, or should we only let her move 1 so that somebody else could get up there and attack? Yeah, that's probably smarter. Let's only move her 1 and just leave her right there. Mordecai is next. Now, Mordecai prefers to cast spells, but honestly, all of his spells are a little bit overkill for these monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he actually can't move his 6th one. Okay, and he can't see any monsters to attack, so none of that mattered. Nothing more to search, so we are at Hogard, who is now totally surrounded, and we are going to draw him to see which one he attacks. Now, I think it would be smartest to attack the biggest threat, which is that Deep Orc, but any of the monsters around him wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. So he is going to go for, he's actually going to turn around and attack this Deep Goblin, which is an interesting choice. Hogard swings his battle axe at the Deep Goblin, hitting it with a 2, and that is indeed a skilled strike, making that Deep Goblin super dead. See, that almost indicates a vendetta against Deep Goblins because he chose to attack those 2. Those are the first 2 things he got out, and they were both skilled strikes too. Okay, Hogard, what are we going to do? Search this room for traps, search this room for secret doors. He was an equal on searching stuff, right? Yes. Or move into a corner so that he doesn't get attacked by all 3 monsters. He's going to search this room for traps, and there are none in this room. Okay, moving on. We are at Thraken the Barbarian, who is at the back of the party. He needs to get up here and contribute. Yeah, 11 is the way to do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we definitely need to get him here into the battle. Just, he could get to any of these monsters. Who's he going to go for? He's going to go for that deep orc. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Thraken, I believe, only has a broadsword at the moment. Yes, indeed. Oh, sorry, broadsword. I mispronounced that. Thraken swings his sword at the deep orc, hitting it with a 2. It does not defend either hit, which means it's dead. There we go. And that is it for the hero's turn. So we have now got the monster's turn. We'll take care of the easy one here. This mountain goblin's already right there next to Hogard, so let's do that. Mountain goblin on Hogard misses. Well, that's no help, is it? All right, mountain goblin here has 3 potential targets because these guys are fast. He could come out here and do Moonstone. He could come up and also attack Hogard, or he could come around and hit Thraken. So who is he going for? He is actually going to go for Thraken. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mountain Goblin swings his daggers at Thraken, hitting him with a 1. What kind of defense is he looking at? He's got good defense. Because he's got Borin's armor. He blocks it, but again, just barely. Only 1 white shield. All right, Moonstone the Druid right up there. We know there's no traps in the room, so they can pretty freely move around in there. She's got 2 possible targets she could reach. She's going to go for the one attacking Thraken. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. She swings her claws at the Mountain Goblin, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. This is also a skilled strike, meaning that goblin is super dead. Which is way worse than regular dead, just in case you were wondering. It's like dead if dead could be weakened by kryptonite. Morkai, let's get Morkai in here too. Now what's his battle preference here? Oh right, spells. And spells are pretty overkill on goblins, but 1, 2, 3, I'd say that also indicates he'd rather cast with his wand than hit with his staff. So let's do that. Morkai sends a blast of energy from his wand at the goblin, hitting it with a 2, which is again a critical hit, skilled strike, super dead. And Merlin's here too. How's it going, Merlin? Good to see you. We got the whole crew here tonight. Hope everybody's doing good. This has been kind of a bad day for me, so I am very happy to be playing HeroQuest. Feels nice. It's the best way to make a kind of day better. Okay, Hogard, what do we got here? We have secret doors, traps, or leave. No, I'm sorry, secret doors, treasure, or leave. And he doesn't have any sort of searching preference, so let's just see. He is going to go secret doors first, and there are none in this room. With his second action, treasure or leave, he's going to go treasure. We're just getting all the searching done. Justin says, I may bald after this shift. Oh, the machine's no fun then, I guess. That's no good. Usually it seems like you've got a nice easy time at work. I guess not tonight, huh? Let's see what Hogard found in this room. Oh no, he's got Justin's luck. He's found a wandering monster. Now again, we're at the beginning of book 2 here, so the wandering monsters aren't too nasty yet. The wandering monster in this quest is a mountain orc. So again, just kind of the regular HeroQuest orc. And let's just pop this guy right here. The orc comes out and immediately swings its flail, hitting Hogard with a 2. Hogard defends 1, but not the other. Just in case you were wondering if 5 defense dice was overkill, sometimes he still doesn't block a hit. This drops him to 10 body points. Bohemia says super deads will come back as super undeads. Yes. Yeah, the skeletons are more powerful. Cody says, my mom gave me hair regrowth stuff recently. Balding isn't fun. Yes. Yeah, that is for sure. I've gotten pretty lucky with that, but my hairline is definitely receding. I've got a widow's peak now, and I did not used to. But as far as the actual top of my head has stayed relatively normal, which is nice. Okay, so that was Hogard's turn. We are now at Thraken the Barbarian, and what are we looking at personality-wise here? Yeah, I think we don't have anything suggesting he wouldn't go ahead and help. I mean, you got the whole cast of heroes in this room, but Thraken swings his broadsword at the orc, hitting it with a 2, which it does not defend. Get out of there. Oh, nice. We can reset the mountain orc drawers, too. Justin says he's just pulling his out. Oh, no fun, man. Is the machine really complicated, or does it just take more focus than normal? That stuff is never fun. I was always the one when I had a factory job that got pulled to do other stuff because I learned quickly. Kind of overcompensated at that job in a way I didn't need to. Moonstone is next. The druid here is ready to leave this room because there's no more searching that can be done. So she is going to go 1 and 2, and then we're going to open the door into this green room. Let me adjust the camera here. I'm going to try and stay kind of low to the action here. Bohemia says balding is my newest hobby. I love that. That's the way to look at it, really. Cody says, I'm also going white, not gray, finally becoming a wizard. Yes. I have been in the process of graying / whiting for a long time. That is for sure. We got another door in the green room leading up here in the corner, and we have another door down here in this corner, so split path. Justin says it's new to us, so no one can set it up correctly. Oh, gotcha. New machine. Yeah, that's definitely no fun. I don't know if this is the same as the KitchenAid factory I worked in, but usually if there was anything new, in addition to all of the people trying unhelpfully to figure the machine out, we'd have a whole bunch of engineers in there trying unhelpfully to explain how it works. And it just never actually did work that way. In this room, we have a couple of tables, so we'll put down some dirt floor there so that the tables take up the correct amount of space here on our 3D board. And then you can watch me struggle to get this table out of this drawer. Here's one table. And any room can't possibly be complete with just a single table. This room has 2. So we'll go ahead and get a second table in there too. What was happening in this room? We got 2 tables, 2 skeleton guys chained to the wall. This is a weird room. We also have in this room a mountain goblin. So again, mountain monsters are kind of just like regular, the normal, the common variety of each monster. Mountain goblin. We also have a swamp orc, which is interesting. How did a swamp orc wander all the way over here? We are not super near a swamp right here in these mountains. I guess we're near, on my map anyway, we're near the Elven Kingdom of Athelorn, which has a swamp in it. So that's probably where this guy came from. Couldn't find that drawer. There we go, swamp orc, and also an orc archer. I know where those drawers are. So we've opened up a weird room here, for sure. Moonstone still has plenty of movement left. What's her preference here as far as searching? She has actually got a preference to battle instead of searching. So I'd say that we don't need to, well, we're going to draw a card, but we're going to not give her the 50-50 chance we normally do. Search for traps or fight the monsters, is what we're doing here. And she is indeed going in to fight the monsters. Which monster is she fighting? She is going to fight the swamp orc. Moonstone swings her claws, hitting the swamp orc with a 2. Now, swamp monsters are also usually bred in really dark places. They also can't see very well. However, their movement is not affected. Instead, it affects their ability to defend themselves. They also hit very hard, but their defense is bad. Now, a swamp orc only has 1 defense dice, so 2 skulls means skilled strike. He couldn't possibly defend that many skulls. He is super dead. Okay, moving on. Mordecai the Wizard also just needs to move. There's nothing else to do in that room. 1, 2, 3. I do think we're going to go ahead and stop him right there because his battle preference is either spells or long range. We might as well have him try and take out that orc right there. Mordecai sends a blast of energy from his wand, but misses. Not a very good shot, that guy. Moving on, we've got Hogard the Dwarf moving into that room. We still don't know if there are traps or not, which is kind of a problem. Does he have any sort of searching? No, he doesn't. Cody says Swamp Orc went out faster than cheesecake in my house. Yes. Oh, same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He might as well go all the way up to that orc. However, he also does not have a preference for battle over safety. So let's just see. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, he is. And there are actually no traps in this room, which is lucky, but also they've already stood on like basically every square, so it didn't matter that much. Finally, Thraken the Barbarian is going to try and get up there and attack at least one of those guys, but just like at the beginning of the quest, 1, 2, he is not moving very fast today. Monster's turn. We got 2 monsters in this room. We've got this Mountain Goblin and that Orc Archer. Let's take care of the Mountain Goblin, attacking Moonstone the Druid. The Mountain Goblin swings its sword, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. Can she defend them? She blocks 1, but not the other. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. So that puts her down to 9 body points, but more importantly, at least for now, gets rid of her shapeshift spell. So we are going to transition her back to the normal mini. She is going to have to heal herself back up to full body points to get that spell back. Justin says, I think I'm mostly good on this thing now. Not perfect, but I won't fall behind. At least there's that. At least there's that. That's no fun. Okay, the Orc Archer here kind of only has either Moonstone or Hogard to fire at. So we don't let heroes fire at monsters if there is a different monster standing in front. That rule should also apply to monsters. Now, because of its position, I would say that it is within sight of either Hogard or Moonstone. In fact, we'll even let it move back 1 so that it really reinforces that it could fire at either of them. But I won't let it fire at Mordecai since we've got these heroes kind of blocking that. So which one of those guys is he firing at? He is firing at Hogard. Okay, so firing at that dwarf, the orc puts an arrow in its bow and fires, hitting Hogard with a 2. And he manages to block that attack. He saw that coming. He was ready for that. Excuse me. Bohemia says, in my fan map, I have Elithorn far west over a stretch of sea, dividing the human kingdom from the elven kingdom. I'll be curious to see your map. Oh, yes. Mine, so I went ahead and kept Athelorn, which I think was the original, the Milton Bradley name, which I assume was a Warhammer thing, so they changed it to Elithorn. Mine is also to the west of the human kingdom. However, I am going to work on my map. The more I look at it, the more it doesn't make any sense, and I dislike it. So I need to look up some tips on proper map making, and then I'm going to keep everything kind of generally where it is, but make it make more sense. Hey, oh man, we got a whole bunch of stuff. Justin says, I noticed Ragnar and Valerna are missing. What are they doing on their break? Wink, wink. Yes, that's right. We established a romance between Ragnar and Valerna, the elf, in Tuesday's episode. And Shamrock is here. Hey, hey, made it to a live finally. You stayed up. That is definitely impressive. You guys normally go to bed pretty early, don't you? It's probably the summer months are kind of helping that. Well, good to see you. Okay, I have totally lost track of where we're at. Okay, right, we just finished a monster's turn. So we are at Moonstone, and she's already here. Oh, sick. Well, that's bad. And Sam's here as well. Oh man, I gotta look at all of these custom emotes. I assume Sonic's dancing. There's a chain chomp in there. Oh, my eyes are terrible. Those are awesome. Shamrock's sick. That's no good. But hey, yeah, you did get to stay up to see. That's neat. Okay, Moonstone is attacking this mountain goblin right here. Now, she's lost her shapeshift form, but she can still do some stuff. She's swinging her wooden staff at that goblin, but misses. Darn. What else can she do? She can do some searching in this room. Yep, she's got equal search. So, secret doors or treasure. Well, she can't do treasure. There's monsters here. So I guess it's secret doors. Come on, brain. Do the thing. Do the thing brains are supposed to do. Think about stuff and stuff. No secret doors in this room, because there's already 2 other ones. So that is it for her turn. We are now at Mordecai the Wizard, who is right here, and he theoretically could do a long-range fire at either this goblin or that orc in the corner. I think the orc is probably the smarter one, but let's just see. Yeah, let's draw this. Yeah, he's going to fire at the orc. Okay, Mordecai sends a blast of energy from his wand at the orc, hitting it with a critical hit of 2. The orc blocks one, but not the other, which means it is regular dead. There we go. Mordecai could also move in there. Yeah, we don't want him to skip his second action. He might as well go in there. They know there's no traps, so the squares are safe. 1, 2, 3. We'll just kind of move him here. We are now at Hogard the Dwarf, who is right here. There's a monster left in here. We might as well try and get rid of it. Hogard sets an arrow in his crossbow and fires, hitting that orc with a 3. Sorry, not orc, goblin. That is a critical hit, skilled strike. That goblin is super dead. So out it goes. Get out of here, goblin. All right, Hogard's got a second action left. Let's go ahead and let him search for treasure as well, since it needs done in this room. Let's see what he finds. Oh boy. Hogard finds himself drawn to a strange idol. He realizes that he is reaching for it, even though sudden pain grows as he gets closer. Roll a movement dice for each of your mind points. If you roll a 6, you manage to stop yourself from touching it. If you do not roll a 6, you lose 2 body points. Ooh, that's bad news. How smart is Hogard? Not very. We need 3 dice. Hogard's got to roll a 6 on one of these dice, or he touches a dread idol and loses some body points. Oh man, he got lucky. Did you guys see that dice roll? That last dice flew around for a little while and managed to land on a 6. That's wild. So he manages not to touch the dread idol. It's kind of a crappy treasure search right there. Thraken the Barbarian, leading up the rear. Been that way the whole quest. Here we go. Which way is he going? 1, 2. We need to see which door he's headed towards before we do anything else. He's going for the far door. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So once he gets a decent roll, we are sending him up to that upper door. Wow. Okay, nothing else to do in that room. No monsters, so we are back to Moonstone the Druid. Which door is she going to be leaving out of? She is also going up that door there with Thraken the Barbarian. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 means she's going to open the door up into this blue room. Sam asks if this is Keller's Keep. Yes, it is. This is Quest 2 of my version of Keller's Keep. It is technically the normal Quest 1. I've added in a quest called the Forsaken Tunnels of Zorzel, which is a thing that Avalon Hill released online, but it's meant to be a precursor to Keller's Keep, so I just went ahead and put it in my storyline. In this blue room, we have another door, another door up here in the corner. We also have a treasure chest in this room, and this is the neat Mage of the Mirror expansion treasure chest that looks a little fancy. Up here in the corner, except I threw it. There it is. Also in this room, we have a Wasteland Orc. Wasteland monsters are slow, but they have higher defense. This mini is not painted yet. There we go, Wasteland Orc. And in the corner, a Wasteland Femur. Oh no. Okay. Now, Wasteland Femurs are just the normal HeroQuest Femur, but this one, oh, this one has a red tail for some reason. I don't know. Ask 12-year-old me. I wish I could give you a good answer. This guy's got a red tail, and it's gonna be replaced eventually. Yes. Oh my gosh. The young paint jobs just never end. We've got to be nearing having shown all of them on camera at this point. Sam says, "Oh, that's pretty cool. There's so many quests I've never seen." Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into the later stuff, because some of these, like Mage of the Mirror and Frozen Horror, I've only ever played once with Merlin when we played through them. And then some of the stuff like Against the Ogre Horde and Wizards of Morcar, I've never done. So really looking forward to do that. I've also got the Dark Company quest in my storyline, renamed and kind of repurposed. But it's like a big 4-board expanse, which I'm really looking forward to do, and I'm not sure logistically how we're gonna do that. But we're gonna figure that out when we get there. Bohemia says he was the boss. That's right. You have to be the boss if you've got a red tail. I mean, come on. Sam says, as soon as you showed the femur, I immediately recognized it from back in the day. Yes, you and Shamrock and Savannah and Merlin have probably killed this guy a lot over the years. Okay, poor Moonstone opened that door. She does have an action left. She can do something while she's in here. Is she going to search for traps or leap right into battle? She has got, with our brand new personality trait system that we're trying out for the first time tonight, she actually has a proclivity for battle over searching for traps. So let's let her go in here. The question is, does she have enough moves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she can only go right there. So we'll do that. She is going to swing her wooden staff at the Wasteland Orc, but misses. That's a sad roll there, Moonstone. It's a sad roll. Mordecai the Wizard, right there. We are actually going to have him and Hogard go down through this southern door. So let's get him moving that direction. Oh yeah, he got a really good move. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mordecai opens this door, and out in this hallway, we can see a wall, and that is it. Does Mordecai have any sort of... he likes to search for secret doors, but we don't have any sort of determining whether or not he's likely to search for traps before he walks out there. Okay, traps or move is what we're doing here. He's just going to move out there. Now, he got a big move, so I guess what we're doing here, he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means he can now see this hallway, and there's nothing further to reveal about that hallway. Is he going to search this hallway or just walk out? Okay, he is going to search this hallway for traps. For whatever reason, he didn't search the one he's walking in right now. And there are no traps in this. Bohemia says, done. I finished the Frozen Horror paint job. Too bad I can't show you. Oh, yes. Oh, we got to figure out a way, because I'm curious to see that. Because you painted the Milton Bradley guy, right? I need to get a Discord set up. That's what I need for this that I have not done yet. I was talking to Shamrock actually earlier today about that sort of stuff. We need a Midnight Quest Discord so that we can put images in there about stuff like that. I'm going to get on that. We're going to have one of those tomorrow sometime. Okay. No traps in this hallway for Mordecai. We are moving on to Hogard, who is also headed down that direction. 1, 2, 3. Now, there's really no point in searching this hallway for traps. Oh, Hogard's not even on camera. There we go. No point in searching for traps here. Now, Mordecai stepped on every relevant square, so the only reason they would need to come to these 2 squares is if there's a secret door on one of these squares. So let's search secret doors, essentially. So we need to know, does this hallway have secret doors in it? And the answer is no. So there's no reason to step on these 2 squares, and also no reason to step on traps, because Mordecai already stepped on all the squares. And Sam says, oh yeah, Discord would be cool. Okay, yes, that's gonna be a goal for me tomorrow. I'm gonna set up a Discord. Okay, moving on to Thraken the Barbarian, who is just off camera, and he is headed up there towards Moonstone before Moonstone gets surrounded. What kind of personality stuff is Thraken moving on? Okay, no sort of vendetta. He prefers close range. We're equal towards battle and safety. Nobody searched that blue room, and he's going to have to step on at least 2 squares before he can get in anywhere. In true fashion for this quest, he's only rolled a 6, which is better than nothing, but still not very much. 1, 2, 3, and I guess let's stick him here. 4. Is he going to stop and search for traps? He is. Kind of wish he hadn't done that, but there are 2 traps in this room. There are pit traps surrounding the treasure chest. So we've got a pit trap right there. Not really on camera here. And a pit trap right here. Bohemia says, Discord would be fun, and yes, the Milton Bradley version 3D printed because I've never owned the US version. Yes, understood. Me neither, because that stuff used to be very expensive. I have to imagine that the price has gone down a little bit now that we have the newer versions of stuff, but Frozen Horror used to go for like $1,000 on eBay. That was the big one. Mage of the Mirror and Frozen Horror were basically impossible to get, but Frozen Horror was usually more expensive, something like $1,000 to get you one of those. I hope that cost has gone down now that we have the Avalon Hill stuff. I know the price of the base game has certainly gone down thanks to the release of the Avalon Hill stuff. Used to be, if you even wanted a regular Milton Bradley HeroQuest base set, it was $150 on eBay. All right, we are at the monster's turn, and we are looking at the only two monsters on the board. Let's take care of the Wasteland Orc on Moonstone first. Wasteland monsters have normal attack. The Wasteland Orc swings its sword, hitting Moonstone with a 1. What's her defense looking like? Oh yeah, she's got decent defense here. She does manage to block that hit. Awesome. And then we have our Red Tail Wasteland Femur coming up here to attack Thraken. Now the Wasteland Femurs again are kind of the normal variety of Femurs. So regular HeroQuest Femur stats. The Femur swings its axe at Thraken, hitting him with a 1. How's his defense looking? He also has, we've got a lot of good defense heroes today. Blocked, but just barely. Yes, Justin got his Milton Bradley set for $40. Yeah, that was killer too. Only missing a little bit. A couple of the figures were slightly broke, which several of mine are too. And I think you said the rule book and the quest book were missing, which easy print, no worries at all. That was a steal, man. Yeah. Sam's emoji. Yeah, or emote. Fantastic. Absolutely. Okay, back to the hero's turn. We are now at Moonstone here, attacking that Wasteland Orc again. For the second turn in a row, Moonstone swings her wooden staff and hits the Orc with a critical hit of 2. The Orc defends. Oh, just about defended the attack. Defended one, but not the other. It is dead. Bohemia says, I discovered that Frozen Horror and Mage of the Mirror even existed in 2010. Ooh, yeah. Long before the Avalon Hill stuff, that is for sure. I couldn't tell you what the year was when I was first introduced to HeroQuest generally. It had to have been the late 90s or the early 2000s. I know my dad was recently telling me about buying his first HeroQuest, which is what sparked this whole thing. Bought it in a local store here. The store is long gone. It's a Tractor Supply now, but it wasn't then. And he told me the name of it, but I've forgotten. And he said very likely I would have been there with him in the cart as like a toddler, essentially, when he bought that. And then we would have gone home to where we lived at the time, and he said he opened it all up and popped the stuff off the sprues and was looking through the thing. Didn't know a thing about it. He was a music teacher like I am now. Student gave him a gift card. That's what he spent his gift card money on. Cody says, I missed the store we would buy miniatures from that was by the studio. Yes, the Lion's Den. It's empty right now. There's nothing in there because it was a bike shop forever and ever and ever, and now that bike shop's gone too. Yeah, I missed that too. That was neat. But it's strange to me to think that I was technically there as a, an infant or a toddler or something, as my dad is popping the stuff off and checking it out and thinking, ooh, what's this? This looks neat. And now here we are, 30 plus years later. Okay, so Moonstone killed that guy. Let's see, she can also do some searching here if we want her to. Secret doors is gonna be what the search makes the most sense to do. Yeah, let's do that. She's going to search for secret doors in this blue room and find none. Moving back over to our other set of heroes, we have Mordecai the Wizard down here checking out this hallway. Is he going to search that hallway for secret doors or move? He does actually have a proclivity for secret doors, so we'll double weight the secret doors. And yes, he is, no, actually 9 is move. He's going to ignore that and he's moving down the hallway. Misread the cards there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now that he's ended his movement here, the only thing he can do is search for secret doors, so we'll go ahead and do that. There are no secret doors in this hallway. Up here, Hogard's got to be wondering what in the heck they're going out this hallway for, because there doesn't seem to be anything down here, but he's following the old man wizard anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just barely off camera. There he is. No further searching can be done right there, so we are headed back up here to Thraken, fighting old Redtail. Let's see if we can get rid of him. Thraken swings his broadsword, hitting the Femur with a 1. That is definitely not going to kill it. The Femur does not defend the attack, but again, does not die. You can't kill old Redtail that easy, alright? He's not going down without a fight. What else can Thraken do? Nothing. They can't search for treasure until they have cleared that room, and one of them's got to get rid of that pit trap to get up there. And Thraken has a toolkit, so he can do that. Okay, good. Monster turn. It's just old Redtail up there, retaliating. The Femur swings its axe, hitting Thraken with a 2. Which he defends, just barely. He should have used his tail. What's he doing swinging his axe? We got to remember that for the next monster's turn. Back to Moonstone the Druid, also standing in this room. Now, she got like close range. Yeah, she doesn't really care as far as the combat type, so we can just have her fire from her current position. She doesn't attack harder one way or the other. Moonstone fires a blast of energy from her wand at the Femur, hitting it with a 1. The Femur does not defend. She actually got rid of it. Moonstone kills poor Redtail. Dang it, they say don't name your pets. I shouldn't have named him Redtail. Now, Savannah, when you paint him, you're going to have to leave that red tail.
And maybe we can do like a variegated kind of thing.
Oh, there you go, yeah. We'll make it a Femur variant. Or he's special. He's like one of a kind. Okay, Moonstone still can't do anything other than move. She can't be the one to search for treasure because that chest is surrounded. So we're going to have to let Thraken do the treasure searching, so we might as well move her out a door. Which door is she going for? She's going to go for that one up top. Okay. 1, 2, 3. She opens this door into the hallway, and what she can see right at the moment is a bunch of walls. We've got a wall right here. We've got a couple of walls here and here. Oops, I've destroyed the room. And right at the moment, that is all she can see. Justin says, finally break time, I can chat a bit. All right. Right at the moment, that is all she can see is pretty much a big empty wall. Big empty hallway. Is she going to search that hallway for a secret door, or sorry, traps, or just keep moving out? You can tell I've had a very distracting day. I can't keep my stuff straight tonight. She's gonna search that hallway for traps. And from this square all the way to the corner of the board, there are no traps. Justin says, me and Sarah finished the quest where you get left in the dark. Nice. Yes. Do you remember what the name of that quest is, Justin? Because I changed it. So I called that quest Left in the Darkness, but that's not what it was called originally. It was something that was kind of, I felt, didn't really make sense for the title. And so that's why I changed that one, but I don't remember now what it was. I also added getting Mordecai the Wizard to that quest. Speaking of Mordecai the Wizard, it's his turn. And he is continuing down this hallway. Can't remember. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, you don't have to look it up because I've got the quest book here. I'm just being lazy. It's literally right beside me, and for some reason I'm asking you. Here it is. Race Against Time. That's what it's called. But there's no time limit. There's no sense of urgency. It's not a race and there's no time. So I changed the name of the quest. All right, Mordecai is moving 9. 1, 2. He can now see down the hallway at the bottom of the board here, and what he can see is, surprise, surprise, a wall. We'll go ahead and let him move 1 more. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, he is. And there are no traps in this hallway from his position to that wall that we just showed. Okay, Hogard, there is a good chance that there is nothing in this hallway, because unless there's a secret door down there, this has been a waste of time. So let's see if we can get him down there to do that search. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he is lucky because that is the first square, upon which I would allow a secret door search. So in that same area, the square where Mordecai is standing up to that wall that is now on camera, there are no secret doors. I'm afraid this has been a long trek, which has been a waste of time. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, moving back up here to Thraken, we have the thrilling side quest of trying to patch up a pit trap so that we can search a chest. 1, 2, and 3. Thraken with his toolkit attempts to disarm the pit trap. It's a 50-50. If it's a shield, he's okay. And indeed, he gets a shield. Now, he can't do the treasure search this turn, but he's set up to do it next time. Whoops. Justin says, might be playing tomorrow, at least 1 quest. Pretty sure Daggerheart is the main game we're doing tomorrow. Nice. So if you play Hero Quest with the people that are coming over, are you going to start them anywhere particular? Are you going to start them where you're at? Or are they doing their own? Are you going to do First Light Quest too? Just out of curiosity how people would run that sort of thing. No monsters on the board, so we are actually right back to Moonstone the Druid right up there, who had searched that hallway up there for traps and found none. Right now she could either search for secret doors or move out into that hallway. She's going to do that. She's moving. She is moving 7. Let's try and keep her on camera here. 1, we're actually going to switch cameras and get this camera up there to where she's at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now that she's in this hallway, she might as well use her second action to search it for secret doors. And there are none from that grate all the way to the corner of the board, which is behind my big stupid face. No secret doors. Justin says we will be doing First Light Quest 3. Already did the first 2. Oh, nice. Nice. You know what? I think you said that you guys did 2 of them when you were here Tuesday night. I just remembered that just now. Okie dokie, let's get down to the other set of heroes who have just discovered that they've traveled a pretty long way on the board for nothing at all. So let's get them turned around. Mordecai is headed back up this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. He's a little bit downtrodden there, I imagine, because it was him that decided to go out this way and discover that there's been nothing. Hogard, also following suit, is moving even slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to imagine that he's yelling various things like silly old man and things like that, leading us down a hallway where there's no monsters, no treasure, no nothing. Okay, actually, let's leave this camera on the 2 of them, and we'll switch the camera up here so that we can do Thraken, because it is Thraken's turn, and he can search this chest. Justin, what do you think is in this chest? Because I bet you got a pretty good idea of what's in this chest. What's always in the chests in Hero Quest? Any guesses? Anybody? What's in this chest? Savannah has guessed disappointment is in this chest. Ooh, Cody's guessed 15 gold. That's not a bad guess. The gold in this quest is always like 15, 25, 35, or 50. Justin says, lots of Hero Quest gaming going on in my house. Me and Sarah are both doing our own play of the PC game, as well as one together, and playing PC with a friend from Columbus, and we got First Light going. Empty. Yeah. Yes, I'm afraid that is correct. Savannah is correct. Justin is correct. That chest is empty. It's a good thing he didn't fall in the pit trap. That would have made that really frustrating. Okay, he's got a second action. We're going to move him out there with Moonstone the Druid. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bohemia says nothing. Cody says, wait, there's a PC version? Yes, yes. Justin discovered this recently. It forces the old rules, and it's only got the first quest in it. It's not official. Or not the first quest, sorry, the first book of quests, as far as we can tell. But yeah, it seems to run pretty well too. You gotta look into that. Get playing again, man. Hey, how long has it been since you've played Hero Quest, Cody? I bet it's been, I mean, a decade or 2 decades at least, right? Surely it's been a while. Back over to Moonstone the Druid, right up there at the top. She is moving 6. Is there any searching to be done? No, they've already searched this whole thing. That's right, Justin says it's called Hero Quest Revival. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Unfortunately, she didn't quite get enough for any new searches to become available to her. Coming back over here, we are trying to get the 2 of these guys back up into a meaningful place in the quest. So let's roll Mordecai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's on camera just barely, but we'll leave it there because Hogard's going. Hogard's moving 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the 2 of them are kind of sticking together. And we're going to send them, once they get up into that blue room, we're going to send them out that other door. Cody says, I'm going to need to cop that. And yeah, it's been at least 20 years. Usually play D&D or Pathfinder anymore. Totally, yeah. That's some nostalgia there down in my parents' basement, playing Hero Quest with a lot of the very same minis that we're seeing. Some of these paint jobs, I seem to recall that you and I both did some painting on these figures, so some of these paint jobs that I've been making fun of might be yours and mine. Justin says it's the Milton Bradley version of the game. Computer plays Zargon and he is ruthless. Yeah. It looks neat too, because they didn't try to like animate it or anything. It just looks like the board game, which I can't say enough about. I think that was a genius move. Okay, Thraken the Barbarian also up in this hallway, moving 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, didn't move far enough for any new searches to become available, but they're headed out and around. No monsters on the board. We are just doing a big old roll fest here. So, oh, sorry, we didn't need to switch cameras. We are now at the Druid Moonstone, and she's definitely going to get up here to this new hallway, so let's move the camera in anticipation. She's moving 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And she is now revealing this bottom hallway down here. And the only thing that we are going to see in this hallway right at the moment is another wall right there. So this is another long hallway, plus this little area right here is open. However, there is nothing else to reveal at the moment. Moonstone, are we searching for traps? Or are we continuing that one movement she has left? She is going to search for traps. That's good, because I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot how many I moved her, and I wasn't sure she actually had one movement left, or if I was remembering that wrong. From her position, all the way down to that wall that I just showed you guys, no traps. Okay, now we need to switch the camera back over here to Mordecai the Wizard, who is moving a measly 4 spaces. A 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good job. Good job, Wizard. Hogard, on the other hand, is going to move 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Making his way towards that door, and no further searches can be done in any of those rooms. Justin says there's a few little things that are weird with it, but it's playable. Me and the wife are about halfway through it. Yeah, that is super neat. All right, that takes us back to Thraken the Barbarian up there in the hallway as well. This is another pretty long trek here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now that he is down here, we can have him search this area for secret doors. The only other thing this hallway hasn't been searched for. And again, from where Moonstone is standing in the corner there, all the way down here to the wall that we placed here, there are no secret doors. So hopefully there's something in this little side path, or this has been yet another big waste of time walk. Now it is now Moonstone's turn, so let's see if we can roll her enough to get down there and find out. Not quite. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeesh. Back over here, we should see some more interesting things happening, because surely one of these guys is going to get up to that door. Cody just downloaded it. Nice. I hope that guy, the guy that made it, whoever made it, gets in there and updates some stuff. It'd be neat to see some more quest books in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what is out this door into the hallway. Oh boy, yeah, there's some exciting stuff right off the bat. So we've got a couple of walls to place. Of course, we already know about the walls that are up here. We also have a wall here and a wall here. There are also 3 monsters out here, a mountain goblin, a mountain orc, and a swamp orc. So let's see, mountain goblin right there, and then mountain orc right here, and swamp orc actually right directly in Hogard's face. Oh, sorry, Mordecai. Mordecai opened that door. The swamp orc, like, right there. Surprise! Cody says, gonna have to take a break from Crimson Desert now. That's right. Yes. Now, Mordecai prefers to cast spells, and he does have plenty of Ball of Flames. It feels a little wasted on an orc. But there aren't... I mean, there's kind of questionable amount of monsters left. Let's card this. Anytime I'm not sure whether a player would do it or not, we need to card this. Is he going to go ahead and swing his wooden staff, or is he going to cast one of his spells? He's going to swing his wooden staff. Okay, the cards have spoken. Mordecai swings his wooden staff at the swamp orc and misses. Guess he should have cast a spell. That's what he gets. Justin says there's also an old 90s MS-DOS PC game, but I don't like it. Yeah, I imagine that one is the one that's kind of like what the NES cartridge was supposed to be, because there was definitely an NES cartridge kind of in being made, and then they didn't finish it, is my understanding, because it was obviously it was never released, or we'd have that. We would have had that years ago. It is now Hogard right there, who is behind Mordecai, who can shoot at that guy. So Hogard puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires, hitting that swamp orc with a 1. Now remember, swamp orcs have bad defense, but they hit harder. It does not block that attack, which means he kind of got lucky and saved Mordecai from a potentially bad hit. Okay, now he does have a second action, so he might as well go out there. It is kind of a weird situation, though, because there's appears to be nothing out there except other monsters. So he can't search for traps. So the only reason he would be going out there, I guess we ought to card that. Is he going to walk out there? He wants it to be searched for traps, is what the cards say. So he can't do that, so we're just going to leave him where he is. That puts us back over to Thraken the Barbarian, who is over here. I'm going to roll him, and he's not moving very fast. 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, that has him looking down this hallway. He actually can go 5, so we'll go ahead and face him down this hallway. And what we have down this hallway is a wall. So we better do some searching. Now, he could search this hallway for traps or secret doors, but I'm going to go ahead and force secret doors because there's no reason to search for traps unless there's a reason to walk down there. So he's going to search this area for secret doors and find nothing. This was yet again another big waste of time hallway, which is kind of surprising. Hero Quest doesn't do that super often, but it does have an effect on the quest. These heroes are kind of out of action until they get back to a useful path. Monster's turn. We have this mountain orc and this mountain goblin, one of which can get up there to attack Mordecai. It is going to be the orc. 1, 2, 3, 4. The orc swings its sword at the wizard, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. Ouch. Mordecai's only got 3 defense dice. He blocks 2, but not the last one, taking his first damage of the quest, dropping him to 9 body points. Ouch. Justin says I'm working on my own quest book as well. Nice. Yeah, I'll be excited to see that for sure. I've written a few. I've got a pretty good quest randomizer that I'm pretty happy with that allows me to randomize a lot of the variables of the quest and then kind of adjust until it makes sense. Okay, so that actually takes us to Moonstone. Moonstone is up here. She's just off camera. And now that they know, again, that this area was another kind of big waste of time, we need to turn her around and start heading the two of them back. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Did she stay on camera? No. There we go. Working on it. Back over here, we now have Mordecai who can retaliate against this orc. Now again, Ball of Flame kind of feels like an overkill here, but he's got 3 of them. So is he going to cast a spell? You know what? We need to double weight him casting spells. That's what his combat style is. We should have done that last time. Is he going to swing his staff, or is he going to cast a spell, cast a spell? He is indeed going to cast a spell. A huge fireball appears at Mordecai's fingertips. He directs it at the mountain orc, and it is immediately engulfed in flames. The orc attempts to throw off the spell and is not successful. It burns up immediately. Way to go, Mordecai. What else are we going to do? Search that for traps? That's probably the smart thing to do so that Hogard can walk out there without being worried about it. Let's go ahead and do that. Mordecai searches that little hallway there for traps, and in this area, this 2 wide plus this extra little square here, there are no traps. We are now at Hogard, who might as well head out there to attack that goblin. Oh, he got a whole bunch of roll there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hogard swings his battle axe at the goblin, hitting it with a 2, which is a skilled strike. That goblin is super dead. Justin says, I'm going to need to play test. I have no clue how many monsters and traps are considered balanced. Yeah, kind of depends on where you want to place the storyline, really. Avalon Hill's come out with a kind of their own canon order for the quest books, which I've essentially ignored. But I also had a rising difficulty depending on how late the book is. So that's that is a weird thing. But you're right, playtesting is always the best way to go. Try it out, see what you think. Does it feel too hard? We are at Thraken, so we actually need to go back to the other camera and slightly move it so we can see him. Here he is right over here. Let's get him moving back there too. Not a terrible roll for once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Got him all the way up to the corner. So the 2 of them are well on their way back. Justin says mine will be intended for new heroes. Right, so I would definitely go light on traps then. The number of monsters, I used to know this number offhand, but it seems, gosh, I might be wrong about this, but when I averaged stuff, it might have been like somewhere around 15 or 20 for early quests, 15 or 20 monsters. What I did was I went through every single quest and I documented the number of monsters, the number of each type of monster, the number of traps and the type of trap and all of that sort of stuff so that I could get kind of a good randomizer that was based on the actual stuff from the game. Next time you're around, I can show you all that stuff too if you're interested in all that. It is a bunch of documents. Okay, that gives us, no monsters. They've actually managed to clear all the monsters, so we are back to Moonstone, who's already on camera. Let's get her moving. She's moving 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm quite sure she moved off camera. Oh, almost. She's kind of getting blocked by the dice cam there. Justin says it's mostly because I've had this D&D story since high school and never been able to see it through to the end, so I figured, okay, make it a Hero Quest book. Yeah, absolutely. That's a fantastic way to do it. And then you still have the ability to kind of flesh it out and do it as a D&D thing too later if you wanted to. The Hero Quest thing will be a great way to kind of flesh out stuff and see what works and what doesn't. Mordecai, what can Mordecai do? He could search for secret doors from his current location. In fact, that's the only thing he could do. In fact, I've just realized now that as far as what they can tell, there is nowhere left to go in this quest. They have now explored everything and found it to be a dead end other than this little hallway. So let's do some secret door searching and see what we find. Okay, in this hallway, there are 2 secret doors, which is wild. Is Gohan still in here? Gohan likes secret doors. 2 secret doors. That's the most we've found in a search. That's a lot of secret doors. And per the European rules, the way I used to play it and Bohemius' suggestion, secret doors now immediately open rather than just revealing doors. So we are revealing 2 whole rooms right now. The first room that we are going to reveal is this red room that Hogard is standing next to. In fact, by a weird chance, the secret door is literally opening right next to him. And right at the moment, there is nothing further in that room. The other secret door we are opening opens into the central room, and it is right here. In the central room, we find another door, a fireplace, and a large amount of monsters. 3 mountain goblins, there we go, we got, whoops, I'm throwing stuff. 1, 2, and 3 mountain goblins. A goblin archer. There we go. Right there. A mountain orc. Which we'll place here. 2 wasteland orcs. I actually want to use 2 Avalon Hill guys here, just so that we remember which ones are which. Yeah, we'll use these 2. Wasteland orc, and 1 ocean abomination. So this is definitely not a great room, monster-wise. That's a lot of stuff that he just revealed. Cody says, that could be a fun idea. Turn a D&D story into Hero Quest. I've been working on a Dark Souls-inspired campaign that I wonder if that could work like that. Absolutely. Justin says, I need to make one-shot quest that uses my Trogdor card. Yes. And Cody says, that's a nah, close the door kind of room. Yeah, no kidding. That's a whole bunch of nope right there. Now, Mordecai hasn't done anything else. Do what? A Hodor. Yeah. He's the guy to close the door, that's for sure. He hasn't done anything. Mordecai hasn't done anything except do that secret door search, so I guess... we need to figure out what he's going to do with this information that he's just gathered. Bohemia says, and that is why this rule makes it exciting. Play the quest very differently. Agreed. Because now they got to figure out what to do with this information. That's a lot of stuff that they just opened up, and somebody's got to go plug that doorway or all of those monsters are coming out. Mordecai is not the guy to plug the doorway either. Now, Hogard should get in there to help. I think the smartest thing to do that's not cheesing this would be to go ahead and let Mordecai move into this room. He will not be able to do anything else, but if we can get him into this corner, he will only get attacked by 2 monsters instead of getting surrounded by 3 or 4. And then as long as Hogard comes in to help, then that puts 2 of them in there to do a bunch of stuff. And then I feel like the 2 of them will be good to clear this out, and the other 2 heroes, once they get back up here, can check out this red room. So yeah, now he's rolled a 10, so he's got plenty of squares here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now this, oh, what do we got here? Gretchen, how's it going, Gretchen? Gretchen says, I swear whenever I see D&D streams, I always think of this Tumblr post I saw where someone made their final boss a merchant the players sold their stuff to, and the merchant's abilities were based entirely on the things the party had sold during their adventure. That is so neat. That is wild. That would have been interesting to see how that turned out, because that is really cool. Thanks for commenting, Gretchen. Hope you enjoy what you're watching here. This is essentially D&D. It's a board game that's D&D-esque called Hero Quest. It's been around since the late 80s, re-released by a company owned by Hasbro here recently, and we're playing using a whole bunch of minis from all of the different versions. So Mordecai's in the corner here. He can't do anything else. He's spent his actions. We now need to get Hogard down here to actually do something. Sarah says, that's interesting. Yes, agreed. Gretchen says, I think they made their merchant an archer because they sold it a bunch of feathers. Oh, that's fantastic and dangerous. Hogard, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is he going to do now that he's here? Because we don't know if there are traps in this room, and that was kind of a risk sending Mordecai in there like that. Is he going to stop and search for traps? What's his personality? Yeah, he might. No, he is not. He is going straight for the battle. Who is he going for? Because he's got a lot of potential targets. Okay, he's just going to go right in here for this archer. So he might get surrounded on the monster's turn, but being a dwarf, he's got high defense. He's the best one of them to get surrounded if one of them has to. So let's hope he can at least get rid of that archer. Hogard swings his battle axe at the goblin archer, hitting it with a 2, which means indeed that it is a skilled strike, and that monster is super dead. Out it goes. All right, and that takes us up to Thraken the Barbarian, who's up here in the corner trying to get back. Let's give him a movement roll and see if he can get it. Yeah, 11. Now that'll do it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he can't take his 11th move because the druid is in the way. There they are right there. But at least he got a big one. He's been rolling crap this whole quest. That is the first decent roll that he's gotten when he actually needed one. That was nice. And we are now at Moonstone the Druid, who is indeed also on camera there. Now her roll, on the other hand, garbage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Real good, real helpful, Druid. It's gonna take you forever to get back. You gotta roll better than that. Oh, look at me, I skipped the monster's turn. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Okay. Pretend that never happened. We're doing the monsters now. Whole room full of monsters, and I'm not gonna let them do anything. Okay, first thing. Mountain Goblin attacking Mordecai the Wizard. It swings its sword, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. He does not defend either hit, taking both hits. He's now down to 7 body points, so he's still in good shape, but that was not a good hit. Now we can get most of the monsters here doing stuff, so let's actually take this Mountain Goblin and move it over here to attack Mordecai as well. This goblin swings its sword at the wizard, but misses him. And then we can get a whole bunch of guys here on the dwarf. Actually, only 2 now that I'm thinking about it. Only 2 spaces that are adjacent. So let's spend 1 getting the easy monsters out of the way. Mountain Goblin attacking the dwarf. Hitting him with a 1. What does the dwarf defend? Oh yeah, he super defended that attack. And then we've got a Wasteland Orc as well. Coming up over here. The Wasteland Orc swings its mace, hitting the dwarf with a 2. Which he does block, but just barely. Just about didn't get that. But it's hard to hit a dwarf. I assume then, Gretchen, so did they finish that? Were they able to beat it, I assume? I assume the Tumblr post said what happened. Boy, I'd love to see some like footage of that gameplay. That would have been... whoever came up with that is a genius. That is such a neat idea. Okay, what do we got here? We've got all of that stuff going on. That was the monster's turn. We already moved the druid out of turn because I wasn't paying close enough attention. So we are now at Mordecai the Wizard, who is stuck here in the corner and definitely has some spells that will help him out. Right now, he is going to cast his Courage spell. That is this right here. This spell may be cast on any one hero in your line of sight, including yourself, which is what he's going to do. This spell grants the targeted hero 2 extra attack dice. This spell is broken the moment the targeted hero can no longer see any monsters. So he's going to power himself up for here just a little bit while they've got a big battle on their hands. Cody says, my dwarf brother is standing tall for blocking those shots. Sure, it's only 3 foot tall, but it's tall. Exactly. Yes. That's the guy you want blocking a doorway or getting surrounded like that. The dwarf is definitely the guy. Okay, Mordecai, which goblin are we going for? This one here. Mordecai swings his staff. He's actually got the artifact called the Wizard's Staff here, powered up by Courage. Swings his staff at the goblin, hitting it with a 1, which I guess is better than nothing. And the goblin does not defend. Dead. There we go. Now that's his 2 actions, so he can't do anything else, but he did meaningfully contribute. We are now at Hogard, who has 3 potential targets. Now the orc, I think, would be the smartest target to attack, but we will leave this up to the cards. Goblin, goblin, or orc? He's going to go for this goblin right here. Hogard swings his battle axe at the mountain goblin, hitting it with a 3, which is, again, more... Yeah, Merlin says, bye, goblin. That's exactly right. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting it with a 3. That is definitely more skulls than that goblin could possibly defend, making that a skilled strike, and that goblin is super dead. And I just threw that goblin. I turned around too fast. I've thrown the goblin. I have no idea where he's gone. Super dead and super missing now. I'll find that guy in the most unexpected place later. Okay, Hogard can do some searching in this room. He can search for traps or secret doors. I don't think he has a preference. It could go either way. He's going to search this room for traps. And luckily for them, there are no traps because they've already done a fair bit of stepping around in this room. I am going to check to make sure that goblin isn't under my chair, just so that I don't accidentally crush it and destroy it. Nope, I don't think so. Okay, they probably just went under the table in here somewhere. Cody says you weren't supposed to take bye goblin literally. Too true. I have no idea where it went. All right, that leads us back to Thraken the Barbarian, who is on our other camera. He is up here. He needs to get back down to some action, so let's get him rolling. 7 isn't too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 at least gets him back into this blue room a little closer to the action. But we'll keep on moving him and see what goes. Back in the big room, we are now at the monster's turn, and we need to create some havoc. We need to get the rest of these guys up here. Now we've got a mountain goblin who's missing a hand. We got a wasteland, I said goblin, darn it, orc, wasteland orc. And a wasteland orc here, mountain orc here, and then this ocean abomination which needs to come up there. We have got 2 open slots for attacking these heroes. Let's start with the monsters that are close. Mountain goblin swings its sword at the wizard, hitting him with a 1, which he defends just barely. We also have this wasteland orc attacking the dwarf. Swings its mace, hitting him with a critical hit of 3, which the dwarf defends. Hey, look at that. Again, just barely rolling exactly the number of dice. But will they continue to get that lucky? Let's get this mountain orc over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to Mordecai the wizard. The mountain orc swings what used to be its hand, hitting the wizard with a 1. The wizard does not defend. This drops him to 6 body points. He's starting to get into a danger zone, but he's not too bad. Which one of these guys is going to go up there? Actually, how many squares can wasteland orcs move? It's not very much because wasteland monsters are slow. They can only move 3. 1, 2, 3. So it actually won't even get over there. We'll go ahead and move it, but it didn't get up there. We can get this ocean abomination up there, though. Those guys being ocean monsters, they've got to be fast. That's the ocean monster's whole thing. Oh yeah, 10 squares this guy can move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me review attack. I should have looked at that while I was up there. 3, okay. The ocean abomination attacks the dwarf with its claws, hitting him with a 1. Oh, come on, abomination. You got to hit a dwarf harder than that. Okay, or I'm wrong, and the dwarf doesn't defend a single thing. Getting hit with that 1, dropping him to 9 body points. Whoa! Bohemia's got a big comment. Bohemia says, I did something similar on my homebrew mission for my family for Halloween. I sent them to do a mission of killing a vampire in an old graveyard. The party encountered a group of NPC grave diggers. They loot the place with the heroes stealing all the good loot and selling the items to the... Did I read something wrong? To the heroes or using them if attacked. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I love that. That's super cool. Anything that kind of like the heroes have that sort of direct effect, like they've accidentally made it harder for themselves later on, is such a genius mechanic. Boy, this room is looking nasty, isn't it? Look at all that. That is a lot. Both of these heroes are still in good shape, so I don't necessarily think they're in danger or anything, but that is a lot going on right there. Okay, up on our other camera, we have Moonstone the Druid, who is right up there. She is going to be moving. Oh, finally, she's got a... Bohemia says my wife was not amused. I bet. I think I mentioned this, but in the Castle of Mystery quest that's in the first book, it's quest 10 of the first book. It's the one where you're teleporting around to different rooms trying to get to a gold mine. I have said this on stream before, but I wish I could have taken video of my wife's face the first time she played that quest, because I don't think she's ever fully trusted me again.
I don't.
Yeah. The fact that all the quest and the gold in that quest is fool's gold and it's all useless, and you go through like a big deal trying to get it out of the quest and then none of it's worth anything, has got to be the biggest betrayal of our relationship so far. She says you're dead to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, 9, 10. I forgot that we are heading them towards this red room. She has one more move left. She could walk in there, but is she going to stop here and search for anything? She doesn't have anything in her personality chart, so is she searching for traps or just walking in there? She is going to search that room for traps. That's definitely the smart move. However, there are no traps in that room. Back down to the big old mess. Merlin. Not Merlin. Merlin is in the chat. Mordecai.
There you go again.
I know. Why do I always mess this up? It's only when they're both here. Mordecai, what is he going to do? Now, again, he has plenty of spells left, but he did use that courage spell. So he's also got some pretty good attack going on right now. So let's get that moving first. He can physically attack a little bit harder, and he's got 2 potential targets. He's actually going to take out some wrath on this goblin right here. Mordecai swings the wizard staff powered up by his courage spell, hitting that goblin with a 3, which is definitely a skilled strike. That goblin is super dead. Out he goes. Merlin says, ha ha. Yeah, I know. I've never been good with names. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, Mordecai actually can still cast a spell. Now, technically, we could let him cast a spell on that abomination. He doesn't have to cast a spell on the guy he's right next to, and I think that probably would be the best use of one of his other Ball of Flame spells. So let's go ahead and do that. Hey, Dad's here. What in the world are you doing awake? It's almost 2 a.m. What's going on? We are in Keller's Keep. We're trying to get to the Warrior Halls, and look at this mess. We got a wizard and a dwarf in here with a whole bunch of monsters. I was just telling the chat the story that we were talking about a few days ago, where you were talking about buying your first hero quest. He says he's typing in my sleep. Yes. What was that store called? That was the one detail of that story I couldn't remember. What was the store called where you bought your first hero quest? I know it's Tractor Supply now, but what was it? I don't remember.
It wasn't Ames, was it?
No, it wasn't Ames. No. It was also a place called Hearts for a little while, but I don't think it was Hearts when... Jamesway. Yeah, Jamesway. Gosh, what a weird name for a store. Oh, what a strange thing. Okay. Mordecai, I almost said Merlin again. Mordecai is going to cast Ball of Flame on this abomination. It's the exact same spell we had before. A massive ball of flame appears at Mordecai's hands. He directs it at the abomination, which is immediately engulfed in flames. It tries to fight off the magical flames and is successful. Look at that. Double 6s in the dice tray. That fire did not hurt that thing even a little. Okay, well, it's Hogard's turn. Let's see if he can hurt that thing a little. Now, he does have 3 options for attack here. So who's he aiming at? Yes, he is indeed aiming at that abomination. That's smart. That thing was just on fire and it didn't die. We got to do something about this. Hogard swings his battle axe at the abomination, hitting it with a critical hit of 4. That'll do it. Yeah, this thing's got 2 defense dice and 2 body points, which means even if it gets 2 black shields, it can't possibly live through that attack. That is a skilled strike. This abomination is, rather unusually, super dead. That's hard. Skilled striking an abomination? I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I knew it was possible, but that's still not very likely to happen. It's not as unlikely as Gramina one-shotting the Witch Lord, but still salty.
He's salty
Okay. Now, Hogar does have another action left. We'll go ahead and search for secret doors in this room, and he will find none. That brings us back to Thraken the Barbarian up there in the corner of the blue room, who's also got a pretty decent dice roll here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to send him into this red room. 8, 9, but we're going to stop him right there. Now, we knew there were no traps in here, but that was only half true. There were no traps that I was allowed to talk about, but now that he has stepped into this room, he has triggered a cloaking magical trap, which was cloaking several monsters that are in this room and are all going to get to attack now as if they are wandering monsters. In this room, there are 4 mountain goblins and a goblin archer. So let's grab those guys. We've got a goblin here, a goblin here, a goblin here. They're everywhere. A goblin there, and a goblin archer back here. There we go. That is bad news. And as I mentioned, they get to attack as if they were wandering monsters now that they've appeared, which means all of them, except for this guy, are going to get to attack. So we'll just go ahead and move this guy right here into that surrounding area, and they are all going to hit Thraken. It's a good thing he's got decent health still. Has he even been hit? He actually hasn't been hit this quest. I bet that's about to change. Mountain Goblin at the top swings its sword at the Barbarian, but misses. This is because I said something, isn't it? Okay. Mountain Goblin right in front of him. Now I can't say anything. Swings its sword, hitting him with a 1. Now he's got Borin's armor, so he's got good defense. He blocks that one. Mountain Goblin down here swings its daggers, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. He only blocks 1. He takes the other hit, dropping him to 10 body points. And finally, the Goblin Archer throws one of its little bombs. I guess that's a bomb that it's holding. Throws one of its bombs at the Barbarian, but misses because it's a bad shot. Okay, well, not gonna lie. Thought that was gonna be a little worse than that. That's a good Barbarian, I guess. Okay, it is the monster's turn, and we've got a few things that we need to do. Now, there's a couple of things. Let's go to the big room first so we can get this out of the way. A much smaller threat in this room now all of a sudden. Let's take care of this mountain orc right now, which is going to attack the wizard. It swings the nub of what was once its hand and hits the wizard with a critical hit of 3. Ouch. Mordecai attempts to defend and does not defend any. That's bad news. 1, 2, 3. He is now down to 3 body points. He is actually doing pretty bad, and the only person who can help him is Moonstone. Okay, here we have Wasteland Orc hitting Hogard with a mace. The Orc swings its mace, hitting Hogard with a 2. The Dwarf attempts to defend and does manage to defend the attack. We also have one more Wasteland Orc swinging at the Dwarf, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. The Dwarf blocks 1, but not the other 2, dropping him to 7 body points. This has been kind of a bad turn for the heroes here. Up here, these monsters have technically attacked on this turn already. So again, their status as essentially wandering monsters moved their attack from the monster's turn and up into the hero's rotation because they were triggered by Thraken. So they can't attack again. This guy could if he could get adjacent, but he can't. So we are actually now at Moonstone the Druid, who, as much as I want her to help Thraken, she needs to get down here to help Mordecai, because we do not want him to die and he is in bad shape. So let's get her moving. Luckily they're kind of close, so she can take a quick detour to help before she comes back up here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This puts her within view of Mordecai the Wizard down there in the corner. And she is going to cast her Life Force spell on him. So here is her spell card here. This spell may be cast on any one hero in your line of sight, including yourself. Its magical power immediately restores up to 4 lost body points. Oops, that's not the pile that goes on. There we go. So this is going to give Mordecai some body points back. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. As this pops him back up to 7. Justin says, visited a board game shop I like. Friends with the owner, asked if he had HeroQuest stuff and he said no. Told him it's my new obsession. He said, yeah, I noticed it's all over my Facebook feed. Yes. Well, he needs to get some in there. There's a shop up in Salina that sells that stuff. You can find HeroQuest stuff on the shelves. I can't remember what the name of the store is, but we've been up there quite a few times. It's really nice in there. I need to remember the name of that. But yeah, it's not even too far into the the southern part of Salina, where I live is south of Salina, so it's not even too far into the town. Okay, so we are back to the hero's turn. Right, we just had Moonstone heal. Morkai ended his now. Dreadfully Good Games is the name of that. Yes, Cody says Cody had it at the same time. Dreadfully Good Games. Have you also been there? That place is fantastic. We are now at Morkai, who is still being affected by the Courage spell, so let's see if he can get rid of this mountain orc that just popped him a good one there on that last turn. Morkai swings the wizard's staff, powered up by Courage, hitting the orc with a 3, which is indeed a skilled strike, making that orc not only missing a hand, but super dead. We're also on the wrong camera. There we go. Show this camera how super dead you are, orc. Look at that missing hand. Cody says, I went to their opening, haven't been back since. Oh, nice. I didn't realize they were a new store. It's been a few years. I think it's been at least a year since I've gone. But Merlin and I went up there to get some Christmas presents last year or the year before or something. Either way, it's neat to walk into a store and see HeroQuest on the shelf. That still blows my mind a little bit. All right, we'll go ahead and let Morkai move a couple of squares here. We don't need to roll for this because he's guaranteed to get at least 2. And we are now at Hogar the Dwarf, who needs to attack one of these Wasteland Orcs. It's going to be the one he's already looking at. He swings his battle axe at the orc, hitting it with a 3. This is a Wasteland Orc with higher defense, but it still didn't block any of the hits. It is dead. Cody says, I think they opened when I was in Minster, so it's been a few years. Oh, yeah. I knew what you meant. Yeah, for sure. It's been a little while. I don't remember when we discovered it. We probably Googled. Have you been to the one that's here in Greenville now? It's not really a board game store, but I think that one's called Dark Depths Gaming. I think that's right. But it's pretty neat. They're definitely geared a little bit more towards D&D than any sort of like board game. But my dice tower I got there, so this dice tower that we're seeing in the dice cam, and also the dice tower that we were using for the guest appearance when Justin was on, and they've got some neat stuff in there too. They had somebody who was willing to paint our miniatures in there for, an understandably pretty large amount of money. And you should have seen the blood drain from his face when I told him that it would be more than 1,000 miniatures. Luckily, he doesn't have to worry about that now since Savannah discovered that she is really good at that. Justin says, I'll have to check it out. I do want to get expansions, but I need to beat First Light in the base game first. Yep, totally makes sense, because those can get expensive if you try to buy them all at once. Cody says, I haven't stepped foot in Greenville in years. Last time I was there, I think I was with you. Yeah, probably. Probably when we did that album retrospective stream. Gosh, and that's been a while ago, too. I don't even remember if we'd had our youngest kid yet at that point. Weird. Okay. Where are we at? I've lost my place. Hogar just killed that orc. And there's nothing else to do in that room. He has a second action, but there's nothing he can do with it. We'll just turn him towards that other orc and move on. We are at Thraken the Barbarian, who is up here in this room, totally surrounded and now also completely alone. We need to do something about this. Now, he knows there's no traps in here, but he can only kill one monster at a time. He doesn't have a heroic brew, which would help him right now. So I guess let's just start taking him out. Which guy is he going for first? He is going to take out this poor guy right here, hopefully. He swings his broadsword and hits that goblin with a 2, which indeed is a skilled strike, meaning this poor goblin is super dead. Out it goes. This will allow him to move a little bit so that at least he's not going to be completely surrounded. And again, we don't need to roll for him to move 2. We know he's going to get at least 2. So at least he'll be a little bit better off on the monster's turn, which is now. So First off, let's actually go back to the big room and take care of this easy one, because we've got this Wasteland Orc here who could attack either Mordecai or Hogard. And it is actually going to go for Mordecai. Wasteland Orc swings its mace at the wizard, but misses. Mordecai was feeling particularly agile that time, I guess. And then back up here, we've got all of these goblins. Now, one thing I did not think about is that this opened the doorway for the goblins to kind of stream out there. So let's go ahead and send one out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one can attack Moonstone. Goblin swings its sword at the druid, but misses. Boy, the monsters just are not hitting this turn, I guess. Up here in the room, we've got a mountain goblin swinging at Thraken the Barbarian, hitting him with a 1. He does not defend the attack. He was not ready. This drops him down to 9 body points. We are also going to have a second mountain goblin hitting him. Mountain goblin swings its sword, hitting him with a 1. And he blocks, but just barely. Only 1 white shield in that. And finally, for this turn, we have the goblin archer up here, which is going to throw a bomb at the barbarian, hitting him with a critical hit of 2, which he blocks, but again, just barely. They're getting kind of lucky with their defense rolls sometimes, but they're just barely getting it. Okay, that concludes the monster's turn, so we are now back to Moonstone the Druid, who is right here. I guess she's not like particularly well on either of our cameras. She is going to try and get rid of this mountain goblin so that she can go up there to help Thraken. She swings her wooden staff at the goblin, but misses. It missed her and she missed it. Does she have spells that could help her? She sure does not. None of her potions are going to help her. Yeah, yep, unfortunately that's just where we're at. She can't do any searching anywhere, so that was it. Justin says, my rolls have been terrible the last few days. Absolutely. Oh, and Merlin, yes. I forgot about that. The 7 shields. How did that happen? Merlin and I, at one point, had decided we were going to try and start uploading HeroQuest content to YouTube, but we were going to try and do it in stop motion. So we would move a hero, take a picture, move it again, take a picture, move it again, take a picture. We played the trial, and it took us 7 hours, if I'm remembering right. It was like 6 or 7 hours to do that one quest, and then the end result looked like garbage because we weren't being careful about not bumping other stuff. So everything was like shifting around and it didn't look good. But I'm pretty sure he somehow beefed up a character to roll 7 attack dice, because we used to do the genie spell wrong, and I think it was that. It had something to do with the genie spell being wrong. It was like a genie spell combined with courage, or genie spell combined with a potion of strength. Again, we were doing it wrong. But he rolled those 7 dice against Varag the Gargoyle, and they were all shields. Oh man, so frustrating. Okay, so Moonstone got nothing there. It is now time for Mordecai, who is going to try and get rid of this Wasteland Orc. He still has his courage active, so he swings the wizard's staff, powered up by courage, hits the orc with a 1, but it still might do it. And indeed it does. The orc does not defend. Mordecai got lucky there, and that orc is gone. There's our drawer. The drawers are getting messy. Okay, that means his courage spell has worn off, and he can use his other action to search this room for treasure. Yeah, Merlin's saying I think it was something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Believe it or not, in the central room there was no special treasure indicator, so let's see what he finds. Unfortunately, the stone beneath his feet gives way. He falls into a shallow pit, losing 1 body point. Poor Mordecai cannot catch a break on the damage this quest. Hogard, on the other hand, can go ahead and work on leaving this room. Now, he could go help Moonstone with that goblin, but surely she can kill a goblin. Here we go. I don't know why I struggle to place this camera so bad. Okay, let's get Hogard moving towards that southern door so we can see what's out in that hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to open this door. Can we see the hallway on camera? Yeah, pretty well. So we already know about one of the walls we placed earlier in the quest. There's a wall down there, so we can't go that way. There are a couple more walls. One right here, and one right here. So it's just that double wide hallway. And right at the moment, that is all he can see. Is he going to search for traps before he walks out there? No, he is not. So he was standing, I think, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And unfortunately, that right there is a pit trap. You should always search for traps before you walk out into an area. Pit trap right here. Does he jump over it? He does, somehow. Now, he was out of movement, so we're going to move him back one for his jump. Wild. And I'm surprised he didn't fall in that. Okay, one more hero for this turn. Thraken the Barbarian is in the corner with a couple of goblins. Again, he can only kill one per turn, but at least hopefully he will. He swings the broadsword at this goblin over here, hitting that goblin with a 1, which luckily the goblin does not defend. It is indeed dead. Okay, let's see where we go now, because it is the monster's turn. Oh, I lied. One more thing. Because he's got an action left, he can actually search this room for a secret door. And we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, there is one. There is a secret door up here in this corner, opening up another room. And in this new room, there is... Can we see this on camera? Yeah, fairly well. This blue room up here has a torture rack. So we'll go ahead and put down a dirt card there. And that is it. Or is it? It is. Or is it? Justin says, no one puts Thraken in the corner. That's right. Apparently these goblins did. Okie dokie. That brings us to the monster's turn, and we have got every monster on the board right at the moment within the camera sights already. Let's start here with the Mountain Goblin on Moonstone the Druid. The goblin swings its sword, hitting her with a 1. Finally actually managed to hit her. And is reviewing her defense stats. She blocked it, but again, just barely. They are getting so lucky with these just barely defenses. And then up here we have 2 monsters hitting Thraken. The first is a Mountain Goblin swinging its sword and missing him. And the second is this Goblin Archer throwing a bomb at him and hitting him with a 1. Which he blocks, but no surprise, just barely. 4 dice and only 1 white shield. Wild. Could have been way worse. Okay, one more thing on the monster's turn, because we like surprises here. Down here by Hogard, there is a monster that can see him, even though he couldn't see it. And that is an Ocean Goblin. Yeah, here's the Ocean Goblin drawer. Standing right here, just out of sight of where Hogard is. But it can definitely get to him. And keep in mind, monsters do not trigger traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that guy can stand there without being concerned. However, this is an ocean monster, so ocean monsters trade some attack for speed. So those guys are fast, but it only rolls 1 attack dice. It does indeed manage to land 1 hit. Will it make it through Hogard's defenses? No, it will not. But it was worth a try. Okie dokie, Moonstone right here. She missed this goblin on the last turn. Is that going to happen again? Moonstone swings her wooden staff, hits the goblin with a 1. And the goblin does not defend. All right. That took her a long time. Let's get moving up there so that she can help Thraken. She is actually supposed to be up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we might as well. They know there's no traps in there, so she might as well move right up to that. This is going to take us to Mordecai the Wizard, who is not quite on either camera. There he is right there. And he can go and fire at that because he is kind of teamed up with Hogard. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to let him fire with his wand right there. He sends a blast of energy out of his wand at the Ocean Goblin, hitting it with a 1. It does not block. He takes it out. Yeah. Okay. That brings us indeed to Hogard, who now ought to search for traps, right? But maybe he won't. Is he going to search for traps, search for secret doors, or move? He's gonna move. Okay. He'll move around the trap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Luckily, none of those squares trapped. Oh my gosh, I moved him straight off camera. Get over here. He has now revealed the rest of this hallway, which we need to do on the other camera, because this camera's not gonna reach. So let's go ahead and scoop this camera down here to the bottom hallway, which is now revealed. What he can see in this hallway is a couple of things. First off, we have a stairway leading down right here, just kind of a cardboard overlay, as well as the exit door of the quest here at the end of the hallway. We can just barely see that exit door. So we know now where that is going. So what is he gonna do? Because he had movement left too, didn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He sure did. So is he gonna stop here and search for traps? No, he is not. I just counted that. I've already forgotten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Luckily, none of those squares were trapped. However, he does have a second action. So now that he's here, is he going to search for traps or secret doors? He's searching for traps now. Lucky you, Hogard. There are no traps from this square all the way down to the exit door. Sheesh. Okay, and then we're going to switch back to this camera and go ahead and poke it up here to this red room for Hogard, who is still working on fighting these goblins. I said Hogard, sorry, Thraken. Thraken swings his broadsword at the mountain goblin, hitting it with a 2, which is a skilled strike, making that goblin super dead. That allows him to finally get out of the corner, too. That's kind of nice. Let's get him up there to that archer. 1, 2, 3. Can't do anything about the archer yet, but he is in position. This takes us to the monster's turn, and the only monster we have on the board is that goblin archer. Now, it attacks less if it's at close range, so let's go ahead and move it back 1 so that it can fire. Who's he going to fire at? He's actually going to fire at Moonstone, the druid there. The goblin chucks a bomb at Moonstone, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. She does not block either hit. Ouch. This drops her to 7 body points. Okay, do I want to... I got one more monster I could reveal, but I don't think it's going to do us any good. Nah, no, that would be not beneficial for me. Let's keep that guy hidden. Okie dokie, back to the heroes, which means Moonstone. So actually, she gets to retaliate against this guy immediately. Does she have a combat preference? No, she does not. Okay, we're just going to leave her where she is. She's going to fire with her wand. A blast of energy comes out of her wand, hitting that goblin archer with a 1. But it blocks the attack. Ooh, nasty. And there is nothing else that she can do right at the moment, so we're going to leave her with that. And that is going to take us to Mordecai the Wizard. Let's just move this camera down here to him. Okay, 1. Now he knows this square is not trapped. Actually, he knows that this hallway all the way down here is not trapped because Hogard stood on all those squares. But he did not search this area for secret doors. Mordecai has a secret door thing, doesn't he? Yes, he does. So let's go ahead and search for secret doors in this hallway just to make sure that there's nothing there missing. And at least in this hallway, there is nothing. No secret doors. Down to Hogard, the dwarf down here. We kind of have a weird decision to make here because he doesn't need to exit the quest when there's still stuff going on up there. So there's really no reason to send him toward that exit door. So let's start his turn with the secret door search as well for this bottom hallway. And we will reveal that there are none. So the only thing that's down here is the way out of the quest with that door right there. So really, he needs to turn around and go back up to where Moonstone and Thraken are, because that's where the rest of the quest is. There's not much. We're just about done for tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we need to make sure that we're not sending heroes out in case the other ones need help. We are now at Thraken the Barbarian. There he is, and let's see if he can get rid of that goblin. Now, he has a close range combat type. He prefers to be close range whenever possible. So we'll go ahead and move him up. He swings his broadsword at the goblin archer, hitting it with a 2, which is a skilled strike. That archer is super dead. Okay, unfortunately, because he moved instead of doing that with his bow, that means that he cannot do anything else with his action. Luckily, we have no monsters on the board for the monster's turn, so we are right back to Moonstone, who has a choice. Is she going to search this room for treasure or go ahead and move into that blue room? She's going to do the treasure search. Let's see what she finds. She finds a potion of healing. That makes sense. She seems to be the healer of the group. She already had a potion of healing. We're just loading her up with all the potions. I can't believe there are still potions in that deck. I figured we had them all by now, or they were all in the discard pile. With her second action, she can go ahead and move into that blue room, but we do have one question to ask. 1, 2. Is she concerned about there being traps in there? Is she going to stop and search? Oh, she can actually search for traps, but is she going to stop? No, she is going to walk in there. Okay. Unfortunately for her, this room is exactly like the red room was, and there was a cloaking spell on some monsters in this that does not deactivate until heroes walk into the room. Now, it's not near as bad as the last room, but it's still not fun. We've got 2 wasteland goblins, which again, trade movement for defense, so they're kind of slow, but they're bulky. Goblin right there. Goblin right there. And also a wasteland femur. Oh, another terrifyingly terrible paint job right here. This femur with the golden arm and the golden axe and the slimy green tail. Bohemia says, I'm just checking 2 major conventions in Italy and the UK running this weekend. Sadly, no new Avalon Hill news of an announcement for the next expansion. I think we must wait for Gen Con. I've been kind of following that too. Yeah, I was hoping that maybe we'd get some sort of indication, but I suppose they're still probably trying to collect themselves after the whole Wizards of Morcar didn't get shipped out right. Didn't somebody get hacked or something like that? Kind of looked like Giles McNeil from Sunday Quest was there, which is kind of neat. He's there like running some of his homemade quests with a group of people. That's super cool. Okay, just like in the other room, all of the monsters that we just placed in that blue room get to attack immediately as if they are wandering monsters. And as long as Wasteland Femurs don't have garbage movement, that means 4. Can it get over there? Yes, it can. That means she is going to get hit by every monster in that room. So let's do this methodically. The Wasteland Goblin at the bottom swings its axe, hitting her with a 1. She does not defend. Drops her to 6. The Wasteland Goblin in front of her swings its sword, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. She blocks 1, but not the other, dropping her to 5. Now keep in mind, she's even though she's not bulky, she's the best one to get attacked because she's got all of the healing spells and potions. So even if she gets to 0 body points, she's got a few redos. Justin says, I want to go to Gen Con again so bad. It's been a long time. I've never actually been to a con like that. 1, 2, 3. It would be interesting, but I don't like being in real dense crowds like that either. So I imagine that I'd be pretty uncomfortable. The Wasteland Femur takes a swing at her with its axe, hitting her with a 1, which she does not block. So she took some pretty bad damage there from just about everything that was swinging at her. Okay, that is it for her turn, though. That's right. That we were doing that because that was Wandering Monster rules. Justin says, I met the creator of Gloomhaven without realizing it. Oh, wow. That's wild. I bet I would have liked to have seen your face when you realized. Bohemia says, yes, Hasbro got hacked, and that threw a huge wrench in all the distribution and many other connections of the team networks. Yeah, without a doubt. I got really lucky with that I got my copy of Wizards of Morcar. A lot of people are just now getting theirs, now that they've gotten that hacking situation sorted out. I got super lucky that I got mine kind of when people expected to be getting them. Okie dokie, we are going to move our other camera to get Morkai and Hogard, who just basically need to turn around and get up there to help the other two. Let's turn Mordecai around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got to the top of the room, and then Hogard is also going to be moving. Maybe. 1, 2. Good job, dwarf. Real helpful. And then we are back up here to Thraken the Barbarian, who's hanging out behind the corner there. There's nothing else to be searched. He can only go here. This forces him to use long range, but technically any of these monsters are within possibility of hitting. He is actually going to go for that Wasteland Femur according to the cards. Thraken puts an arrow in his bow and fires at the Femur, but misses. Unfortunate. Okay, that brings us to the monster's turn. Now again, those monsters up there in that room would normally get to attack, but because they already did on this turn cycle, we are back to Moonstone. Now she needs to do something here because she is really low on health. If we had allowed those monsters to attack again, she would probably have died. So let's see, her pixie spell only heals her 2 body points. That's not going to be very helpful. Let's have her drink the potion of healing that she just found. So we're going to put that in our treasure discard pile, erase that off hers, and give her 1, 2, 3, and 4 body points back. This puts her up to a much more doable 8 body points. Means she doesn't have to turn tail and run. So let's see if she can also kill one of these monsters while she's in here. She swings her wooden staff at the Wasteland Goblin right in front of her, hitting it with a critical hit of 2, and it does not defend. Nice. Wasteland Goblins have 2 defense dice, so that was not a skilled strike. But at least she blew a path open for Thraken to get in there too. All right, Mordecai the Wizard is actually on camera here too, near the top. So we'll go ahead and leave the camera there and get him moving. Let's see if he can help too. Oh yeah, that's the way to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here, let's see if, does this line of sight work? Can he see that Femur from that, or is that weird? No, you know what? That really clearly passes right through that open door. Whoa, Justin put in a huge comment. One moment, let me do this so that I don't forget what I'm doing. Mordecai is going to cast Ball of Flame on that Femur. It is the exact same time as the other 2 times he's cast this. A massive fireball appears at Mordecai's fingertips. He directs it at the Femur, which is immediately set aflame. The Femur attempts to fight off the magical flames, and does. For the second time this quest, completely negates a Ball of Flame spell. Wow. Justin says, I realized when I got home, their booth was giving out free posters and the guy said, Isaac is over there if you want an autograph. And I see the guy, he's wearing a publisher's shirt and running a register, so I think, why do I want a random employee autograph? I talked to him a bit as I was checking out my copy of the game, and he was cool. I get home to hang my poster and realize it when I saw his name on the poster. Oh man, that is such a facepalm moment, dude. I totally get that. I would have done the same thing. Oh, why couldn't the guy that directed you towards him been like, by the way, that's the creator if you want to go get his autograph? Ugh, sheesh. Hogard the Dwarf needs to get up there too. Now he's bound not to get that good of a roll. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, definitely not a good roll. We'll go ahead and move the camera with him since he's the only one down there. He's not helping anybody anytime soon. We are now at Thraken the Barbarian, who can get in there. Now again, he prefers close combat, so I would imagine he's going to try and get in there. They haven't searched for traps. Is Thraken concerned with that? Not really. He's got an equal battle to safety ratio, so I guess we ought to draw it. So 1, 2, and that's already a risk. Darn, he is going to stop there and search for traps. I wish he hadn't done that. There are no traps in this room. He might have gotten rid of that Femur. Okay, monster's turn. We have that Wasteland Goblin and that Femur there. We need to try and get somebody. We need to determine if they're both going to attack Moonstone or if one of them is going to attack Thraken instead. So let's draw for the Femur there. Which one of them is he going to attack? He is actually going to move and attack Thraken. Okay. The Femur swings its axe at the Barbarian. Ouch, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. He blocks 2, but takes 1. Luckily, he's still pretty good on health. He still has 8 body points. Meanwhile, the Wasteland Goblin is going to swing its axe at Moonstone, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. That was a good block that time. One more thing, just for the sake of adding interest to the quest here, just so that we don't have to roll everybody all the way down here to this door, there is indeed one deep femmer just sort of hanging out down there, right here. Now, deep monsters are from the deepest depths of the tunnels. They are pretty much blind, and they are very slow, but they hit hard. Now, I thought about revealing this guy once before, but Hogard would have been able to shoot at it and kill it before it got to him. Deep monsters, or deep femmers in this case, only move 2 squares. 1, 2. So now that nobody is down here to kill it before it gets anywhere, let's start it on a very long monster's turn only journey and see if it can get to the heroes before they take it out. Okay, back up here, it is Moonstone's turn. Let's see if Moonstone can get rid of this wasteland goblin. She swings her wooden staff at the goblin, hitting it with a 2. Oh, because the goblin blocks both. Gosh. Okay, didn't see that coming, but okay, that's where we're at. She can also do a secret door search in this room with her other action, and indeed, she will find one. She finds one secret door in this room leading into what is, I don't mind letting you guys know, the last room of this quest. In our new room is a bookshelf, a treasure chest, hopefully not empty this time, and a totally not suspicious at all stone statue. Totally not suspicious, all right? It's just a statue. Everything's fine. Nobody freak out. Okay, now that nobody has freaked out, it is Mordecai's turn. Let's get him up here. He is kind of out of really good spells. He's got a couple of Tempests, but I think that's only going to be handy in case of emergency, like if that stone statue turns out to not be quite so suspicious. Let's have him shoot his wand at that femmer and try and get rid of it. Mordecai sends a blast of energy towards the femmer, hitting it with a 1. But the femmer blocks. That takes us down to Hogard the dwarf, who is just moseying his lazy way along. Oh, good. He's finally gotten a decent roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. He's not really close enough to actually help, but he is in the room at least. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Actually, that femmer is within that 6x6 rule. Can he see it? Well, it would help if I'm pointing the camera at what we're talking about. Oh, that's a good one. I'd say that clearly passes that open door. Okay, it's within range and it's within his line of sight. Let's do it. Hogard puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires at the femmer, hitting it with a 1. And the femmer does not block, because how could it have possibly seen that coming? He didn't even know there was a dwarf in there, let alone an arrow being fired at its face. Didn't kill it, but it did get hit. This takes us to Thraken the Barbarian, who is standing right in front of that femmer. Let's see if he can finish it off with the broadsword. He takes a swing, hitting the femmer with 1. And the femmer does not defend. That's what you get for not seeing a dwarf coming. That femmer is dead. Not super dead, just regular dead, but still dead. Okay, what else can Thraken do? Nothing unless he's moving. We'll just go ahead and move him there. So this will actually give us the benefit of the monster's turn, which is now. We only have that goblin and our deep femmer, which is moving slowly. But because Thraken is standing there, it actually has an option to hit Thraken instead. And indeed, according to the cards, it is going to do so. The goblin swings its axe at the barbarian, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. The barbarian only defends one of those hits, taking the other one and knocking him down to 7 body points. Justin says, blink on, Robin Hood loyal blind servant could have caught the arrow. Yes, saw that coming from a mile away. Yes. Okay, and then we need to, of course, switch cameras down to the most important part of the quest, which is this movement right here. 1, 2. Okay. Now we get back to the boring stuff. If only we could spend a whole quest watching a deep femmer move 2 squares at a time. It is Moonstone's turn. Let's see if she can get rid of this guy this time. She swings her wooden staff at the goblin, hitting it again with a critical hit of 2. But it does not defend this time, and it is gone. There we go. Why do I have a mountain goblin drawer open? Have we got a mountain goblin somewhere that I've forgotten about? It must be. Yep, I bet so. I still don't see that guy either. Okay, so I'm going to murder that dog. The dog is scratching at the basement door so bad. But she can't come down here. She unplugs all my wires. Okay, so Moonstone. She just killed that thing. She's got another action left, and we haven't searched for treasure yet. Does she have any sort of indication? No, she doesn't. So, is she going to search for treasure or move into that new room? She's moving into the new room. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is she concerned about traps? No, she's not. Oh, hey, let's take a quick break here. Everybody help me remember it's Moonstone's turn. But Savannah's just finished painting the Berserker. Yeah, you're on camera right there.
Where?
Interesting. Well, his beard is a lot longer than I thought.
It's not. It's like, see on there, it's like a necklace.
Oh, okay. That's why.
So,
Nice. Good old
Can't
Robert
really-
Tylan
okay,
painted
there we go.
now. And that's, at least for now, that's our last hero, right? That means all the heroes are painted until we start picking up new ones.
now it's your job to fill out my dice bags.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, now she can't do anything in this room, so she might as well just kind of hang out there. She wouldn't have the action to search for treasure anyway, so no point in going any further. So Mordecai, who is standing here now, what are we going to have him do here? So we can either have him stop in the blue room and search for treasure, or we can have him continue on into that other room. We are going to, okay, he's ignoring the blue room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, he is. Okay. Justin says, God dang it, Bobby, that boy ain't right. Yes, good old Bobby the Berserker. Mordecai searches this new room for traps and discovers that the chest is trapped. Gee, I wonder what it triggers. Okay.
I wonder.
Hogard, get down here. We need you to disarm this treasure chest trap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he can't move his 8th. So let's go ahead and let him search this blue room for treasure since he's got that action left. And he is going to find, cleverly hidden in an almost invisible cubby in a top corner of the room is an emerald green gem worth 35 gold coins. Nice, we found like almost no gold this whole quest, so that's definitely helpful. 255 is what that puts us up to. Bohemia says, I believe the Berserker art is inspired by Doe Hopkins' appearance, even the same beard color. Oh, yeah. See, we were talking about that before I started streaming tonight when she said she was going to go ahead and paint Robert Tylan, what the deal was with his salt and pepper beard. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That's neat. Okay, Thraken. Now, Thraken could also come try to disarm the chest, but he has a less chance of getting it right than the dwarf does. So really, it makes the most sense for us to let Hogard do it, but it would be kind of exciting for them to accidentally trigger that the gargoyle. So maybe we ought to try this. Does he have enough to get up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, he does. You know what? we're on camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the heroes are still pretty good on body points. I don't think this is going to end up being a terrible mistake if he doesn't successfully disarm this. Okay, now, Zargon only has a toolkit, which means he's got a 50-50 shot. If this is a shield, he's successfully disarmed the trap. If it's a skull, then that statue is going to get a lot less suspicious. Well, look at that. I guess we don't get to see a gargoyle fight after all. It was a shield, which means he's successfully disarmed the trap on the treasure chest. It is the monster's turn, and all we have to do is, of course, the most interesting part of the quest. 1, 2. Okay. Back up here. We now have Moonstone the Druid, who might as well go see if she can roll up to that chest. Yes, she can. 1, 2, 3, and 4 behind the statue. She searches the chest for treasure and discovers 200 coins. Boy, there was a pretty good amount of coins in that. Puts us up to 455. And let me tell you what, I'm feeling kind of weird tonight. The heroes did not lose enough body points, and I'm not quite ready for the stream to be over. Let's just say that taking the coins out of that chest activated a different part of the trap that they didn't see, and that gargoyle is coming to life. That's right, we're getting a gargoyle fight, and we're going to let it attack like it is a monster. They know it came to life because it immediately attacks, and it could attack any of the 4 of them. It is going to go for Morkai. This gargoyle sees a weakness in the party and knows how to exploit it. The gargoyle cracks its whip at the wizard, hitting him with a 2. Which somehow he blocks. Maybe we might be getting a gargoyle fight, but apparently they're just going to block all the hits. Justin says, "But the best thing about Hero Quest is the gargoyle." Exactly. That's why we're getting the fight. It's Morkai's turn. Let's see what he can do. He does have a Tempest. Let's go ahead and have his first action be to cast Tempest on the gargoyle, which means it's going to miss its next monster turn. He can also do a regular attack on it, not a very strong one. But Morkai swings his wooden staff and hits the gargoyle with a 1. Which the gargoyle defends, despite being trapped in a tempest. Hogard, who is now panicked, running into the room saying, "You should have let me do it! You should have let me disarm the trap!" He attacks close range, doesn't he? Yeah, we better have him be one of the ones that's up here. Hogard swings his battle axe at the gargoyle, hitting it with a 2. The gargoyle does not defend either attack. It's not dead, though. There we go. And finally, we have Zargon, who I guess he could get close range. He has a close range thing, doesn't he? Yes, he does. 1, 2, 3. He's going to get behind the gargoyle and see if he can do some damage from back there. He swings the broadsword at the gargoyle, hitting it with a 1. Which it does not defend. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe it wasn't super climactic. But more interesting than letting them just leave it there doing nothing. Okay, we can say that Moonstone also searched this room for secret doors and found nothing. Oh my gosh, I was about to end the quest, but I forgot. We can't end the quest. We've still got a Deep Femmer, and it might kill somebody. Don't get down here. I got the wrong camera. 1, 2. I mean, look at the speed. That guy's going. He's getting places. We're gonna have to roll those heroes down there to see which one of them kills him. This is a weird monster placement here. Moonstone. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Moonstone's got Swift Wind. Yes. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do to get this. Get that guy. Get rid of that guy. Moonstone is gonna cast Swift Wind on herself, which allows her to roll double the amount of movement dice for the next 3 turns. Now again, I did buff that a little bit because I found myself basically never using it. So, on her first turn of double movement, she is going to roll, let's see, that is 12, 14, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now that is a movement. All right, and then the rest of these boring slow guys, Mordecai the Wizard rolls 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hogard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And Thraken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And most importantly, down here at the bottom, this Black Femmer who is preparing for the absolute fight of his life, what will undoubtedly prove to be the most interesting fight in all of Midnight Quest history, 1, 2. Back up here. Moonstone is headed straight for that guy on her second turn of Swift Wind. She rolls. A little bit less this time, so that is 8, 9, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, nobody ever searched this hallway for traps. Is she gonna stop and do that? Yes, she is. There's only one trap in this double wide hallway, and it is the pit trap that Hogard fell in. Okay, slowpokes. Mordecai the Wizard is proving me right. 1, 2. Hogard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And Thraken. Oh, he's moving decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Then, of course, the main character of the story, the Deep Femmer, 1, 2. Absolutely. Back up here we have, I am switching cameras like a crazy guy, Moonstone the Druid, who has her last turn of Swift Wind before it runs out, which will hopefully carry her to the most important character in the whole series. She is moving a whole bunch. What do we got here? That is 9, 10, 11. That is 14 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Moonstone swings the wooden staff at the Deep Femmer and misses, because how do you hit something that is barely there to begin with? And unfortunately, we will have to catch the thrilling conclusion after we watch the slowpokes barely move. Mordecai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Fast, but not fast enough. Hogard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Actually reaches the doorway, which is not on camera, but not enough to shoot at the Femmer. And Thraken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and can't take a 7th because Hogard is in the way. Down here, we're gonna close up on this because this is the best thing to ever happen to this stream right now. The Deep Femmer is going to attack Moonstone. He's got a lot of attack dice. Deep Femmer swings his axe, hitting her with a 2. Oops. She only blocks 1. He's already hit her for more damage than she's hit him. And now it is her turn. She has a potion of strength at the ready. I think she should take it. How many body points does this guy have? Yeah, this is probably not a bad idea. We are going to have Moonstone drink her potion of strength, allowing her to roll 2 extra attack dice just for the next turn, because this guy is the hardest boss that we've fought in the entire game right now. Moonstone swings her wooden staff powered by her potion of strength, hitting the Deep Femmer for 2. And I've just looked at his stats, but I've forgotten. Okay. The Deep Femmer attempts to defend, and unfortunately fumbles his axe, dropping it at the last moment and catching her wooden staff directly in his almost blind eyeball, killing him. The saddest death so far in the series. It's unfortunate, but don't cry, everybody. It'll be okay. He's going to Deep Femmer heaven. He was a good guy. All right. Now we could go ahead and roll them to the door, but we're not going to. Okay, so that was it. The door that they exited leads them into the Warrior Halls, which is going to be tomorrow night's quest. So let's do a little bit of cleanup here and get them their gold and their skill points. Now, keep in mind for lore purposes that all 11 heroes that are in our ranks are currently in the tunnels underneath the Black Mountains right now. All 11 heroes are there. We were just following this particular group of 4 right at the moment. So we can assume that our 200 coins we're getting, which is 50 coins for each surviving hero, rather than coming from Mentor like they did last book, is the sum of the coins found by one of the other parties during this period. Justin says, my therapist is going to need to pull overtime to get me over that femur. Yes, exactly, I know. I may never be the same. So, 200 coins added to the community wallet means we are at 655 coins. And of course, we need to do skill set points. So at the end of every quest, the surviving heroes get 2 skill set points, which must be spent immediately on one of 6 categories. The 6 categories have 10 levels apiece. Those 10 levels affect the different character classes differently. There's not a reward for every level, but there's never a waste of time for maxing out any particular thing. We are going to randomize what these characters are getting. Moonstone did pretty good this quest, even though she killed my favorite character that I've ever created right at the end there, which I may never forgive her for. She got pretty beat up in this quest, which is, of course, it's an indication that she wasn't defending very well, but it's also an indication that she was putting herself in harm's way pretty consistently. She was not staying out of the fight, she was jumping right into it, which is neat. So let's see what she's getting. Her first point tonight is going to be Machinery level 1, which is nothing for her, but eventually that's going to be trap disarming stuff. Her second point is going to be Magic Memorization level 4. That might be something for her. Memorization level 4 for a druid is pick one spell. Awesome. That means her one regular spell that she gets that's not a druid spell, she'll be able to choose that by name rather than randomly selecting it, which means we can actually make sure she gets one of the protection spells next time she goes on a quest. That'll be neat. And that was it for her. That was her 6th total quest completed. And we will put her aside. Mordecai also did fairly well this quest. He was a big part of that big battle in the central room, which was a lot of fun. It's a shame he got all those ball of flame spells and 2 of them didn't do anything, but other than that, pretty good. This was actually his 4th total quest ever, so not bad considering he is kind of inexperienced. His first point tonight is going to be Education level 1. Education eventually increases mind points, but not that level. His second point is going to be Combat level 3. He seems really interested in combat, which is interesting for a wizard. There's good stuff for a wizard in combat, but it's not the thing that they build very fast. For him, he doesn't even get anything in this until level 5, so he still hasn't gotten anything, but it's interesting that he's randomly gotten 3 levels in it. Okay, yep, that took care of him. Hogard, the dwarf. I feel like we didn't see him doing too much this time. I mean, he certainly did. He was also in that big battle in the middle room, so useful, but for some reason I don't feel like he stood out very much on this quest. This was actually his 7th quest, so he's getting pretty up there in quests. His first point is going to be Education level 2, which is a mind point. That makes sense because he had the Dread Idol thing this time that meant he needed mind points, so this is going to put him up to 4 mind points. And then his second point is going to be Combat level 4. Combat 4 for a dwarf is nothing. He's going to get his next reward there at level 6. Awesome. And finally, Thraken, the barbarian, also did really good this quest, I feel like. He went down a lot of hallways that didn't lead anywhere, but he survived that room full of goblins, the goblin ambush, if you will. Survived and fought his way through it. I think he killed most of those monsters himself. This was also his 7th total quest. Okay, his first point is going to be Education level 4, which is a mind point, I believe. Yes, it is. This also puts him at 4 mind points, so he's getting pretty smart for a barbarian, which is good. It'll make him harder to control if an enemy casts a bad spell on him. His second point then is going to be Magic Skill level 2. Okay, whatever. That's nothing for him, but he does get access to spells at level 3. He then needs to pair that with Magic Memorization level 4 to get one spell that he can take into the quest. Okay. Well, that was also our quest testing the initial build of the personality trait system. And I'll be honest, I feel like it didn't really change that much, which is probably an okay thing. I would have been a little concerned if it changed a lot of things. So I think if it's kind of in a fairly innocuous thing, it'll be okay. It also didn't like make the quest take way longer. I wasn't having to do way more considerations for card draws or anything. So at the moment, I'm thinking that it's okay as is. We might go ahead and continue applying it to other heroes and seeing how it affects it. But by all means, everybody who's watching right now, your suggestions are always welcome on this sort of stuff. So if you see something that you think could be done in a cooler way, by all means, throw it in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube when it's not live, put it in the comment. I want to hear your suggestions so that I can make this as good as it possibly can be. All of you guys, especially the regular viewers, Justin, Bohemius, Gohan, Merlin, if you guys have any thoughts on that personality trait system, does it need to be boosted since we didn't really see it do much this time? Or is it okay as is? Is there something that should operate differently? By all means, everybody, if you have an opinion, throw it in the chat and it will be very much appreciated. Okay, guys. We are going to be done for the night, but we will be back here tomorrow night at midnight playing the next quest, the Warrior Halls. So if you are not doing anything and you are up late at night, definitely come hang out with me while we play another quest with a different set of heroes and a whole new set of monsters. If you happen to be watching right now and you are not following here on Twitch, please consider doing so. It really helps out and I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed what you watched, and also if you enjoyed what you heard, that is also stuff that I am involved with. Every bit of music that you hear, the theme song and everything in the background is something that I have either written and performed entirely myself or been involved in writing and performing. Half of it is from my solo album Reclamation and the other half is from my band Afterwinter, where I am the lead guitarist and co-lead vocalist. So all of that stuff is also completely performed by real people and produced for your enjoyment. You can go find that stuff over wherever you happen to stream music. All that good stuff. Bohemia says good night. Yes, good night. Good to see you all again. We had a really nice stream tonight. There were a lot of viewers in here. I'm pretty sure we had a record amount of viewers, record amount of chatters. Thank you all so much for that. And hopefully we will catch you tomorrow night for the next episode. We will see you guys then.